Hey, you're listening to Hair of the Dogcast, a proud part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. Check out Hair of the Dogcast and all of Greenlit shows at greenlitpodcast.com. Now, let's do the show. Everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Hair of the Dogcast, the #1 podcast about beer and games of beer, from the edgelord decorated streets of Outworld to the electrified shores of Bisonopolis. What the hell am I talking about? Well, just wait until the topic of the show, where the Dogcast engages in an epic battle of shlock-tastic to see which 90s video game film masterpiece will reign supreme, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter the movie. The debate will be real stupid. But first, this episode is brought to you by executive producers Brian Ward and Kate Conte and the beautiful, beautiful listeners just like you. If you'd like to help support what we do here at the Dogcast, please go to patreon.com/hairofthedogcast, all one word, and consider subscribing at a tier that works for you. There's lots of Patreon-only perks that are waiting for you, and we'd love you, like, forever.
Yeah, and the higher tiers, you'll be crying tears of joy. It's so good.
Yeah. But if you have no simoleons or bison bucks to give, that's cool. We still love you. Appreciate you being here listening to us. Feel free to give us a review on iTunes, and please tell your friends about us. Hell, tell your family, tell your pets, tell everyone.
And I appreciate your terminology. You are clearly prepared for this episode, Tom, and I'm excited to talk Pax Bisonica with you.
Oh, I can't wait. Actually, that's
Pax
all
Bisonica,
I remember from these great movies. But we have
the channel.
Oh my God. We have the full Monty here today. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Brad, let's start with you.
Hi, this is Brad, co-host of Tom and the Fart as well.
The Fart!
Yep, I'm Brad, Loaf of White Brad. I do Gift Horse. We have had 2 episodes so far. One of the co-hosts of Raw Dogs. We recently also did an Unleashed episode with Barrett.
Brand new show.
A brand new show, Unleashed series, which it's where 2 of us get together and we interview someone, and that one was fantastic.
It's great. Just dropped today, the day we're recording this.
Actually, no, it's already dropped. Oh, the day we're recording this,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my better half is next to me over here.
It's me, Dylan. I'm a cave creature. I barely come outside.
You've seen your shadow.
This was before the quarantine, too. Actually.
Well, honestly, though, I'm adapting very well, and it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in that.
Well, it's funny. Everyone I know, literally everyone, still has their job, except for me. So it's one of these things where I can't even commiserate. It's just like, oh, no job, huh? Everyone's like, no, I got to get up in the morning and do stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm going to smoke weed and play Mother 3 again.
You have been dabbling a little bit more lately, haven't you?
Oh, way too much.
Yeah.
It's fine, though. I buy myself a lot of nice things. I treat myself.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Man's got to treat himself.
It's wonderful.
Once in a while.
We're proud of you.
Thank you. You should be. I'm making more money than I ever have.
Thank you, government. There you go. And coming to us from a bunker from Watertown, Wisconsin, we have Josh on the line. Mr. Miller, how are you?
Hey, Tom. It's great to be here. I'm Josh from the bunker down under. You may have heard of me. I drink a lot of beer. I just started Mortal Kombat 11, and we're here to talk about some things today. About beer and video games. And video games and beer.
You're damn right. And on this podcast, we drink the real live beer. And it looks like we all have beers going on. So, Dylan, what do you got?
I've got a new juicy IPA from Southern Tier Brewing Company. Ooh. I actually got a giant overpacked, is what they call it. 15 cans, baby.
Oh, shit.
Jeez, it's more than 12.
That's more than 12.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And there's
Good job,
5 different
Josh.
types of beers. Most of them are IPAs, as Kate pointed out to me, but I like IPAs.
Do you have the new vanilla whip in there?
No, none of those. But I do have 2 times IPA, the 8 days a week, the live session, and the Lakeshore Fog.
Beautiful.
Of which I will drink all of them.
You will.
I've seen it. He will do it, folks.
Yes. It's definitely possible. I've got nowhere to be and nothing to do.
Woo-hoo.
I've seen this guy at noon recording a Sonic the Hedgehog podcast. He got through 6 of those puppies in one cast.
Yeah, our casts are pretty long, though.
Got to go fast.
Right.
Gotta go fast.
I played
I
Sonic
metabolize
Fighters
real
the
well.
other day.
You played
Why?
Sonic the Fighters?
Just
Why?
because I never heard of it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I actually
Who's your
played
main?
What's that?
Who's your main?
I don't remember.
You just go for Sonic,
Yeah.
right?
There's a few original characters
You know-
for Sonic the Fighters, which are pretty exciting. But
Yeah.
they actually made their first return in Sonic Mania
Yes.
as some new level bosses for Knuckles.
It sucked.
I get it. Yeah.
I beat
Shang
it.
Long. Did he fight Shang Long?
I
If
beat
you
it.
enter the code right, Reptile shows up.
Yes.
I beat them all. I beat them all.
Oh my. All right.
So,
Brad, what are you drinking?
So hard.
I'm drinking a Mr. Boombastic from Eagle Park Brewing Company.
Sure.
It's a over-fruited Berliner Weiss with passion fruit and mango, and it is maybe my favorite thing that this brewery has put out since I started working there anyways. It is delicious.
I wanted to try that. It said sour in it. I passed.
It's
It
not
sounds
sour
like-
at all. It's like a mimosa. It's so fucking
It sounds
good.
like, yeah,
good.
It's really smooth.
to my detriment.
No, you'd actually like this one, I promise.
Actually,
Too bad it's gone.
Actually, I think you gave me some of that. Well,
I might have. I'm a good friend.
sure.
The last batch
Yeah.
was a lot thicker.
Do you just
though.
not like fruit juice?
Big.
And I gave Tom some beers the other day because it is his birthday. It was his birthday. Happy birthday, Tom.
Yeah, one more
Wait,
revolution around
Hold
the
on.
sun.
Is today your birthday?
Last week.
Oh, my birthday's tomorrow.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dylan.
Yay! I'm going to celebrate by eating fried chicken and going on a long walk and drinking 40s out of a bag.
So a regular type day.
I was going to say, yeah. Like all the other 365
I'm going to the
days.
beach. Going to smoke some awful cigars.
All right, Josh, what do you got, buddy?
Three Floyds Brewing. We got their Mexican style lager. I just wanted a typical traditional beer, nothing over the top to start my cast. And even though the artwork's over the top, like it's like a cartoony, trippy everything,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying.
I like it. It's appealing
Yeah.
to children.
But it's nice.
It is.
I love a good Mexican lager.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
One of my favorite styles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Third Space has a fantastic one.
Also,
Their Mexican honey.
Indeed Brewing.
Yeah.
That's the Mexican honey's Indeeds.
Oh, that is my.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Third Space does have a good Mexican lager. I've had it before. I
I
don't remember
think
what
I
it's
have one
called.
from
Like
Victorian
Latina.
in the fridge too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Indeed's got it going on, though. If
Yes.
you ever get the chance to get their Mexican honey, try it out.
Oh,
The
yes.
Imperial. So good. Well, it's good to see you guys.
Did you say what you're drinking, Tom?
I did not. No.
Okay, let's
Thanks
move on.
Okay, great. But
Okay. Podcast over.
I'm supporting local beers tonight, and I am drinking a amber beer. It's called Ride of the Valkyries. Ride is a pun, and it is from Gathering Place Brewing in
Neat.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Love Gathering Place. I saw that you went there because Eagle Park was closed.
Go
A little bit
Milwaukee.
further walk.
I never realized how far that is actually passing. I drove, so I'm not going to pretend I walked, but yeah.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la. So, guys, it's good to be here with you, and
Hold on now. Kate's here. Producer Kate.
Hey.
Yeah.
yeah, she's not supposed to know.
And she is
Cash my
drinking.
$3 Patreon, okay?
She's cashing in.
You're an executive
They-
producer.
Kate, can you tell us what you're drinking today?
I
Kate?
would like to use the opportunity
Executive producer Kate Conti.
to use my $3 Patreon. This is what you get at the $3 tier, right?
No.
No.
There's a lot of people at the $3 tier that
Okay.
Yeah,
don't get
no.
this.
Well, then I'm just special.
You're at the $10 tier.
You gotta get the Scotty Pippen
Happy
tier, the
birthday.
$33.
I got your credit card number. It's fine.
It's-
What are you
it's-
drinking?
I have a White Claw, hard seltzer, black
Get the
cherry.
hell out of here.
We'll end it around.
Get out of here.
Oh,
All I
clams.
wanted.
Listen, I debated bringing vodka, so
Hey, you should have. All right, gentlemen, would you like to get into the journey that is known as the news?
absolutely, I would love to.
I can't wait.
It's going to be great. I say this now, there's not too much news, more announcements than news, but
Animal Crossing sells 10 billion more copies.
yeah, it's just basically
Right.
a repeat of last episode. So, number one, a new Assassin's Creed has been announced, everybody.
Who saw this coming?
wow.
I
Just
didn't.
Wow.
I didn't at all. Yeah, so
It's been 2 years.
I know.
I know this news will at least appeal to three of us, possibly, and Josh.
Yeah. I still have Origins and Odyssey. I haven't started them yet, but
Odyssey, I've been trying to get running on my computer. Ubisoft, you make awful PC ports. I'm just going to say it.
Is it really that bad?
No. So I should be able to run Assassin's Creed Odyssey, at least on medium settings, all the way through, with a stable, at least somewhere around 40 frames a second.
Sure.
These games are optimized for 30. And it chugs, and it looks awful, and the textures are disgusting.
Well, I got the solution, man. Google Stadia.
Oh,
Stream that stuff.
Stadia! Time to invest.
Yeah, okay. So
They're giving that shit away. They'll give you $10 to play it now.
I might as well.
yeah. Well, if you guys are intent on playing those games before the new one comes out, like get cracking on that because
Listen,
Odyssey's the longest game I've ever played.
I got a lot of
busy.
things going on. I got to be Bloodborne still. I got to play MOB the show.
I just bought an accordion. I got to learn
I
that.
got to play
shit.
Brave Exvius on the phone.
I actually
Yeah.
have played 2 hours of that.
Well, after we get through the news, we'll talk about what we've been playing.
Do you got the accordion because of Sea of Thieves, right?
I was really high on mushrooms.
Just say it.
and I said I had watched a cover of an accordion song being played. It was literally something from Super Mario World, and I'm like, you know what?
I'm sick of
I
carving
can-
spoons.
I think I can do that. Well, you can't find any decent wood along the train tracks. That's all I'm gonna say.
The Dylan experience.
Yes. Okay, so the new game was revealed via a CG trailer, and it's subtitled Valhalla. It's the long-rumored entry set in the era of the Vikings. The game takes place in 9th century Europe, and you play the Norwegian Viking raider named Ivor, who
Yeah.
could be either
Ivor.
male or female.
He's a very famous Viking, actually, if you know the mythology.
Ivor.
Yep.
That's how he pronounces it.
He made the first surfboard that they rode over to America with. People don't remember that.
Without him, we wouldn't have the Beach Boys.
Yep.
My favorite Norse band. Yeah.
Norse metal, the Beach Boys.
Little Deuce Loop.
Yeah. They haven't shown any gameplay of this game yet.
Hey, yeah, you're bearing the lead here, but you're right. Yeah.
Gameplay.
So, along with Norway, Ubisoft mentioned that players will also be visiting a great deal of England and many of its kingdoms during this era. I guess there's a settlement mechanic, deeper character customization.
Settlement mechanics.
They've had that shit for a long time.
But for fuck's sake,
Yeah, this
It's
one
like-
I think is more robust, though. Like,
maybe.
I liked it in Assassin's Creed 3, where you
So
kind of
is
built your
this-
village up, you know?
Yeah.
The colonial.
Is this just going to be Assassin's Creed God of War?
All video games are all just turning into one game.
Probably.
I swear to God, that's
Sora's
how I've
going to
been
show up
feeling.
in this game, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Ubisoft employs like 8,000 people that work on these games, so I'm sure like at least half of those probably came from Naughty or what the fuck? Who'd make God of War? Santa Monica?
Oh, you think so? They made a ton of money. Why would they fire him?
Yeah, people leave. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. The one thing from the trailer that I thought was kind of cool was looks like they're foregoing the Eagle Vision, and now you got Raven Vision. It's like set with the whole like Odin.
This goes against all of the lore they've set up.
No.
This is
Quiz time.
egregious,
This is a
and it's
breakthrough.
going to ruin this franchise.
Josh, what do you
time.
think about the Raven?
The one from Game of Thrones or the professional wrestler?
The bird.
The wrestler.
The game developer.
All of them. It's great. Everything is
They're great.
Okay, great.
Do you guys know the name of Odin's 2 ravens?
Borku and
Frank.
Ryan.
It's actually not the worst guess.
Stadler and
Waldorf.
Waldorf.
No, it's Hugin and Mugen.
Moogie?
Mugen.
Oh, okay.
Hugin and Mugen.
Hugen and Mugen.
Like you're watching a horror film.
Dutch porn.
Kiergan.
How do I know that? I know a lot of things.
Okay.
It's called marijuana and a lot of time.
Well, no.
Oh, God.
It helps.
Okay, Ubisoft Montreal is the main studio behind this game. They were also the studio behind Black Flag and AC Origins.
So the good ones.
Yeah, so probably my 2 favorite entries of the recent years.
I played Assassin's Creed 4 on the Switch.
You
It's really
did. I've heard that.
It looks fantastic.
Did you just jump in and dabble with it, or did you actually play?
So it's the
a
Rebel
meaningful part?
collection. I wanted to play through 4 so I could eventually get to Rogue because I've never played Rogue, but that came with it.
Yes.
I've just been dabbling.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing seriously. It's really hard when you've like 100%ed a game
Yeah.
to get back into it and just be like, I just want the sea shanties and to sail
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
That's literally it. It's really hard to go back, but it looks fantastic.
Sure.
It looks better than it did on the PlayStation 4 when the PlayStation 4 came out.
Really?
I think so.
That's great.
But you just play a handheld mode, right?
I've done both.
Okay.
Looks great both ways.
both ways.
Yep.
That's the way he likes it. So yeah, the game will be available on both current gen and next gen consoles as well as PC.
What about previous gen? Is this coming out on the Xbox 360?
Don't tempt them. Don't give them any ideas.
It's getting a Wii port.
PS2.
Yeah. So the rumor out of Ubisoft mentioned that the game will be smaller in scope than Assassin's Creed Odyssey after receiving a lot of feedback that Odyssey was too big.
Huge.
And I say hella freaking fucking you to that because, yeah, Odyssey was just too fucking big.
You were never complaining, though, when you played it nonstop for a year straight.
I wasn't, but I don't know. Like,
It was great. I loved it.
I did, but there came a time where you just play these games to play them because it becomes like a job. And I would just put on a podcast and just fucking zone out and complete side quests, go collect fucking feathers or whatever.
But that's fun.
Sounds like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I mean,
I refuse to do
Josh doesn't sound like
extra content for Assassin's Creed. I do the story mode and whatever, like little things that are fun. I refuse to do all the extra stuff.
yeah, it got a little crazy.
Unless you get shanties out of it. That's cool.
That's true.
Well, you just chase them across rooftops.
I did do a good amount of the DLC for Odyssey too, but you didn't play it, or you were just trying to get it to work?
I know enough. I don't really care.
Okay. It's the kind of game where you don't
Yeah.
see the fucking title screen until you're 8 hours into the game, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh my god.
I mean,
It's like Apocalypse Now. The title screen's 2 hours in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just starting.
Yep.
I figured I'll play it eventually, but at this point, I'm not.
Cassandra's badass though.
I would have chose Alexios because he just looks like a big dumb idiot.
Everybody
He's a
says Cassandra's where it's at, though.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
that makes me want to do Alexios so that I can be like, yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. All right. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the just the game in general? Are we gonna play it?
I'm going to play it. I can't express my full thoughts on it until we get to another story we're talking about. But
you mean the one
I don't know anything about it. There's some pretty pictures I've seen. Mm-hmm. I guarantee there's going to be a Viking in a ship. I don't know.
I saw a man draw something.
Somebody's gonna kill somebody. There's going to be the hidden blade's back.
Yeah.
That was kind of gone from Odyssey unless you played the DLC a bit.
Right, yeah. When they like establish it.
What what famous figures would show up around this time?
Thor.
Leif Erikson and Thor.
Yes.
And
Chris Hemsworth.
Do you think Hugin and Mugen will show up?
Odin's like maybe as like the first civilization.
Because they're going to work some god shit in there. Assassin's Creed's been dabbling more and more with getting the mythological in there.
They might
Oh,
as
you
well.
damn right. Yeah.
I mean, think about like
You have
whatever
to,
like Fate of Atlantis, that DLC.
Fuck
Yep.
it, have Kratos show up.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
good
care.
DLC. I didn't finish that because even I had to say,
I'm a little worried because there's a lot of like subtlety to like northwestern Europe. If they could make it look really bland if they wanted to, or they could make it look
the Dark Ages.
extremely beautiful like Ireland. Like the plateaus and the like the crags.
I'm
all
betting
that
it's
stuff.
going to be a bit of both.
And I wonder how Hugin and Mugen will look.
Right. I just hope there's a lot of Monty Python references.
There might be. Does the guy who used to do color commentary on the history still exist within this universe?
No, he's kind of gone.
They phased him out.
Yeah. There's not
God,
the
this series has
snarkiness,
been going
the
on
snarky
forever.
guy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the one, the blonde assassin with the glasses.
Yeah.
He's been gone for a while.
Yeah,
Has he
Yeah.
really? Okay.
I can't remember if they killed him off or he's just like.
I stopped
No,
really playing after
marginalized.
Unity.
He was pushed off to go do a mission. He's still around, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. He'll
It's
come
been
back
a while
at some
since we
point.
covered the Assassin's
went to
Creed
a
series.
farm in the
that
country.
was your first episode with us. Was the Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
series?
it was.
Yeah.
I had a great time with that.
The
one.
newer versions, they don't do that shit anymore. Really, you have to like go and unlock almost like a history mode to really find out like the backstories of these places. But I always liked it in the old versions of the Assassin's Creed where you could just access them and have his like little snarky commentary. And
Yeah, like
kinda
the
colored it.
Hagia
It was
Sophia.
That stuff's good.
The color writing was very good in Assassin's Creed. I can never say that about the main plot. So
yeah. Josh, when are you going to play Assassin's Creed, and why is it never?
I don't mind Assassin's Creed. I had the first 3 games. I have some like a bunch of the random ones because they're like $1.99 everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, someday I might play these one day. Someday, one day.
That's a thought.
But when will I have the time? Well, right now is a time where I have time
Yeah.
to play games like this. And I have been playing
Yeah.
games, so.
Good. Yeah, it's hard to believe that an Assassin's Creed game did not come out last year. and it still seems like it does.
Well, now they're doing every 2 years. They decided not to annualize.
Don't want to milk it out.
It's a good choice.
They should, yeah. They're
Madden
really burning
20,
it out.
Madden 20 and a half, Madden 22.
Yeah, you got it. All right, let's move on to what I thought was going to be the lead-off story this week after Microsoft was going to have their Inside Xbox event held last week, or at the end of last week.
Very inside.
Very inside.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd have like a ton of like cool next-gen details. They said they were going to show off next-gen gameplay. I thought we
Yeah,
could
they
all
did.
kind of talk about all the awesome gameplay that we saw from the first time we would have seen real next-gen footage.
It's called owning a PC.
but-
The entire, I watched the whole like half-hour presentation.
Was there gameplay, Brad?
I couldn't tell you if there was more than 30 seconds of gameplay on anything. I wish that would have they would have just shown gameplay, actual gameplay. They were teasing the entire time. Stay tuned for Assassin's Creed gameplay.
Yep.
There was literally no gameplay.
Not to the extent that they said they were going to show. Or
I didn't see any gameplay for Assassin's Creed.
They were, yeah. So just to clue people in, if you didn't know, Microsoft had touted this as an event that they were going to show the first gameplay, on Xbox Series X, including the first gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which had been revealed in the CG trailer that we just talked about. This was going to be the first time that they showed it in action, and that did not happen. No. And fans were rightfully kind of ticked off about it. It was pretty much just trailers. Even some of them were just CG trailers. I mean, some of them were in engine, but they were just cinematic fucking trailers, and
they weren't gameplay.
Not gameplay. I think the only game that actually had gameplay was like Dirt, a racing game.
Yeah.
And
they did reveal a couple cool things. I liked the trailer for Scorn. That design looked fun.
Yeah.
And the smart delivery, which people have kind of known about before, it was really cool. I mean, I like that concept.
Scorn, yeah, H.R. Geiger.
Yeah,
thing.
that looks cool. There's
It's a cool trailer.
no gameplay.
Right.
But that was the only thing I saw in a half an hour that that piqued my curiosity. The rest was, Microsoft, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're blowing it.
Yeah, there wasn't any real gameplay, but I think more than anything, it was just oversold. And Microsoft did come out later after the fans had a bit of a backlash.
We made a whoopsie.
They basically said we made a whoopsie. Skedio.
Right. Right. Yeah. Josh, did you watch any of this at all? Or
I wasn't even aware. I've been pretty busy. I mean, playing Mortal Kombat 11, so.
All right.
He's real busy.
That is fine. But yeah, head of marketing Aaron Greenberg responded on Twitter after people were just like,
He said, I made a whoopsie.
yes. Aaron Greenberg responded, had we not said anything and just shown May Inside Xbox to show like we did last month, I suspect reactions might have been different. Clearly, we set some wrong expectations, and that's on us. We appreciate all the feedback and can assure you we will take it all in and learn as a team. And the creative director for AC Valhalla, and Ubisoft is not, they're still culpable in this too, because they said they were going to show the fucking gameplay trailer for Assassin's Creed. He said, hello all.
We made a whoopsie.
Yes, you rightfully expected to see more today. We have a long marketing campaign ahead of us. You will see in-depth gameplay and get a lot more info about the game. Thank you for your excitement and passion. Be patient with us and be kind.
Be patient with us and be kind.
Yeah.
Rule number 1 of the internet.
Yes, of course. Everyone took that completely to heart.
I mean, if they hadn't been teasing the entire time that there was going to be Assassin's Creed gameplay footage and then there wasn't,
yeah,
everything they did was wrong.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, and
they made a whoopsie.
I know I was excited for it. I was excited to finally see, okay, this is the first time we're going to see next-gen gameplay from any system. Let's see what it's all about.
Well, I don't feel like they really gave this a lot of pomp and circumstance. I think that they just thought this was going to be kind of just like a small promotional event, but it's so itchy. Like the world as it is right now, people are itchy for any form of content. Mm-hmm. They're just looking for it where they can get it.
Especially in a console launch year.
And people are hoping for the future. They're looking forward to things. So I think in a lot of people's brains, this was inflated. I'm still going to give them shit about it, but I think that a lot of this really does break down to just like false expectations.
I don't know. I think
Now you know who the real bad guy is, guys.
Real bad guy.
I think
Real bad guys coming to show.
I think that both PlayStation and Xbox are just kind of playing they're both chicken right now, and they're
Yeah.
waiting for the other person to like, you get naked first. And everyone's like, no, you first.
Do you guys recall when the
Truth or Dare.
what was it? It was the Saturn when it was released.
Oh,
and then
let's talk about Saturn.
and
Foreshadowing.
the guy, he said what the price was, and then after the whole thing was over, Sony came right up to the podium.
$299.
$299.
And
That was
everyone
it.
went, "Whoa!" Like it kind of feels like we're waiting for that moment, because do you remember in 2013 when Sony absolutely dunked on Microsoft?
Oh yeah,
Sharing
how
the game?
to share a game with a friend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They knew they had won, and I think
That 10 seconds tanked.
Sony and Microsoft at this point are both afraid, and they're waiting for someone else to mess up.
Well, the issue is here with
I agree.
with these releases, as they know what they can get away with now.
Yeah.
So they know they can't get away with the shit they pulled last gen, and now I think they've really come upon this idea that these systems are going to be extremely similar, and they're wondering how they can, from a PR standpoint, differentiate them. So they have to hear something from the other camp before they actually say something themselves.
Yeah.
I agree. They're just playing the waiting game, I think.
Yeah, it's a
Sony's in the driver chair, but they don't want Microsoft to retaliate with what they can do better. But can you really do something this fast, considering these are supposed to come out soon? Can you really whip up something that quick to make that much of a change?
Yep. I think, and to this point, Microsoft has been more transparent than Sony has about a lot of their details, and their messaging has been better, in my opinion. Sony's bungled it a little bit with the Mark Cerny presentation, and I don't know, just being a little trepidatious, kind of like we talked about in the last podcast. So this was like a stumble, definitely, for Microsoft. But up to this point, I think they've been doing pretty decent.
Well, have you seen any of like the rumors on what's actually on the inside of these puppies?
Well, not rumors. All the specs are out there.
They're basically, and this is the part that kind of upsets me now that I've kind of been a PC gamer for a little while. They're basically PC games, or they're basically PCs now.
Sure.
Like there's no like proprietariness to them anymore. Whereas like the PlayStation 3 had its own. Its own type of system that they could really work with.
Yeah, that was the last generation where they were vastly different in specs. Yes.
And now basically they have to build them like PCs because the technology is catching up to itself so quickly.
Yep.
This console generation, this next one, the PS5, it's probably only going to be 4 or 5 years. It's not going to last nearly as long as it did.
Yeah.
At least that's my prediction.
It could be. We'll see how the economy is later and how much this whole fucking coronavirus thing decimates people's purchasing power.
Sony's supposed to be selling the PS5 for what, like $450? That's the rumor.
Yeah, between $450 and $499 was.
They're gonna have to boot it down to $450 after all this, but I think they'll still be successful. Mm-hmm. I think people are gonna buy it on name recognition alone. So whatever.
Yeah. So Microsoft, they have basically events, I think, planned out all month, like one event each month to go over. So they said July was going to be the month that they will show what their first party studios have been working on. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are waiting for. And I think what a lot of people thought this was going to be, even though it was kind of advertised as see what our third party partners are out there. But just wanted to go over some of the games that were shown because I don't know. There were some cool things, but nothing really stood out as next gen. You guys watched it. Like, did anything like really? Were you like, holy shit?
Nothing struck me as instantly. This is the future of gaming. There were some games that looked cool, but nothing. I mean, there was one moment during that racing game where they showed nighttime with like the lighting at night, and then there was a lightning strike in the distance. I was like, that looks great. That was it.
It was like me playing Forza for the first time in this last generation and seeing a puddle of water standing in the road. Like, whoa, that's really neat.
I mean, Forza Horizon 4 still looks...
It's not bad.
Astonishing.
Yeah.
For what it is.
Yeah.
I'm playing it on the original model Xbox One, and I'm just like, this looks better than almost anything.
Yeah. I'm not a huge racing fan guy, but yeah, I played a shit ton of that. I was on a lot of paid meds at the time, but it was good to.
You still are. It's called beer.
Buddy, I wish. Damn it. So I guess first off, not a game per se, but a majority of the games that were shown, even though they were third-party games, they were going to utilize that whole smart delivery thing that Microsoft is touting. So if you buy a version of the game now for the Xbox One, when you upgrade later, you automatically will get like the upgraded.
It's very
Xbox
intelligent.
Series.
That's very smart.
It's very cool.
I think it's really cool.
I wish every game would have smart delivery for the next gen. That way I don't have to buy the consoles for 2 years until they figure out how to make them work.
Yeah. I mean, it's opt-in if you're not like a first-party studio, but it seemed like a lot of these were. Even Madden, which was shown.
There's really no reason, up
to a certain
unless you want to be like striving for only a next-gen product, which I don't think...
They can't get away with
It's not financially sound right away because most people are not going to be early adopters.
Yeah, especially now. Yeah,
well, they're going to produce limited quantities. They're going to
Yeah.
do exactly what Nintendo's been doing since the dawn of time. They're going to produce a limited amount. They're going to sell out immediately. That way, there's no such thing as supply and demand. There's always demand.
Nintendo is just the best.
Aren't they?
I love them.
They're great. Okay, so we had a game called Call of...
We love you, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I love you, Nintendo.
If you had any games that you
Mother
guys
3.
wanted to talk about or something, please go ahead.
Have you heard about the Nintendo? That thing is
Love
great.
Nintendo.
We love Nintendo.
There's a game called Call of the Sea, which looked like a Campo Santo.
That looked kind of
Firewatch.
Bioshocky, which I
Yes. Yeah.
liked. Yeah.
So it looked really interesting.
You become a mermaid in Call of the
You
Sea.
see the web hands like
Yep,
at
that's
the end
when
of
you
the...
become a mermaid. They're taking the tale of Little Mermaid and they're doing it backwards, where you have to become a mermaid so you can fuck Ariel.
Oh yeah, with my weird webbed fingers.
Wow, is this like Lighthouse?
Touching your shell
movie?
boobies.
Lighthouse the game? Arr, he see the merman.
Let me at your shell, bra.
Right.
You like me, chicken? I saw it.
The farts. Oh,
Watch The Lighthouse if you haven't. It's on Amazon Prime and it is worth it.
Josh,
I mean,
you
the
see
worst part of-
Lighthouse?
It's on my list. Actually, I was
Okay.
glancing past it last night, but I was watching Street Fighter.
I had to watch Street Fighter instead.
The movie.
Next, we talked about Scorn. I think
Scorn looks great.
It's supposed to be either a first-person puzzler or a Metroid Prime style game, I guess.
You say
No gameplay
Metroid
was
Prime
shown.
to me and I'll play it.
You
I think
know,
there was an alien dick.
I'd rather just have that be like an R-rated sci-fi film. I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
If it's good, that's great. But I think a lot of what they strive for in those H.R. Geiger, H.P. Lovecraft style games always falls short because
Hewlett-Packard.
you can't. Yeah, Hewlett-Packard.
Lovecraft.
I don't know. It's such a lofty ideal to try and pursue in a video game form that I feel like it rarely even comes close to how like the source material.
Yeah, you've got to be a real. You can imitate a lot of this stuff, and to be honest with you, video games for the most part have been trying to imitate stuff like cinematic experiences, like movies, and
Oh, God,
like
yeah.
all their design philosophies and stuff like that. But I find that video games are at their best when they're just trying to be their own
Yes.
thing, and I think that's what you're going for, Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
guys
don't
remember
know.
what the FMV craze of the 90s? Oh, that was great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm still gonna be honest with you. When I was playing through Final Fantasy VII, those CG parts still got me. I still think they look great.
Yeah.
And how they transition back into the polygons.
Yep. When they go through the window.
Yeah, there's a real charm.
I was just thinking about that today. It's going through my mind's eye. I wasn't playing the game, but I'm like, that's still
Looks
that's
great.
pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of the remake Cloud holding like the little polygon Cloud. Like, let's save the world again. It's like, come on, you little ding dong.
Oh, that's great.
They look like fucking Playmobil
Yeah.
characters.
This game kind of got me, and I didn't realize I was kind of hungry for this style of game, but there's a game called Chorus, which is a single-player space combat game that looked like Wing Commander or like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Oh, sick. I don't remember that.
You're like a woman and who has a sentient spaceship. It looked cool. I like those games a lot, and I'm a huge Wing Commander fan with starring Mark Hamill as Colonel Christopher Blair from back in the day and Biff from Back to the Future. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this or did anything for you, but it looked neat. And it's
Well, did I ever
spelled
tell
with a
you-
V instead of the U. So it looks
Did I ever tell you I was an Elite Dangerous player?
Oh, I know.
For a long time.
I didn't know this. Dylan, why were you holding on?
I
to
was
me?
a commander.
Son of a bitch.
I played it for probably 6 months straight, and then I realized basically I was doing space Uber and Lyft.
Okay.
And then I stopped because
And-
I was doing Lyft and Uber at the time as
Nice.
well. So I was working to play.
Yeah, that'd be a good, also a good podcast topic when you realize what you're doing is stupid.
Like imagine if there was like bartending in Animal Crossing, and you came home and Carly, she was playing on the Switch, and she was just bartending for all her animal friends.
There was Final Fantasy X when I was dodging lightning strikes for Lulu.
Ick.
I realized I was doing something stupid. Every moment I played Kingdom Hearts, I realized I was doing something stupid.
But somebody's got to do it.
And I had to beat them all again.
Right. Well, then there was another game, Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
That was shocking.
Definitely didn't look like a next-gen game, but I'm a huge fan of the original.
This is their Xbox like huge reveal thing, and they have a serial killer dancing around
Great trailer.
mutilated bodies. I couldn't believe this was extreme.
Have you ever played the original?
No,
I did the pen
I'm not
and
saying
paper.
it shouldn't be that extreme because I thought it was fun and interesting, but I can't believe this is on a main Xbox event. There's mutilated corpses and a guy dancing around them. It looked terrible. The game looked pretty bad.
It was,
but
typical,
I just couldn't believe that they
RPG.
allowed that.
It's a smaller developer too. I think people are really building it up. I think people have a lot of nostalgia. I played one small campaign, pen and paper, with some people from high school. It's interesting. It's really crazy. I've heard stories of people like renting out warehouses, and on each floor is like a different scenario, and people would like LARP essentially. I've never played the game. Have you played the first?
Oh yeah. Okay, it's funny. The first Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines came out like a week after or a week before Half-Life 2, and they shared the same engine source.
Oh, so this was like 2002?
2004.
Really? Okay.
The game came out. It was really buggy. It was made by Troika, who were the guys that made Fallout, and that's the company they went to after like Black Isle or Interplay. And I love it. There's a huge fan community who have supported this game through the years, and I wanted to reinstall it because people have made like graphic upgrades, fixed all the bugs because it was really buggy.
Oh,
but
sure.
it is a phenomenal game. It's like a political RPG. You pick the kind of race of vampire you are, and you go through like this whole story of just like political intrigue and taking down all the different families and the factions.
I might download that.
It's like Twilight a little bit.
I'll give it a shot.
It's pre-Twilight, yeah. This is what inspired.
So this is what Twilight was based on.
Edward.
Well, can I pretend I'm the characters from What We Do in the Shadows?
You can be whoever you want. Yeah, you can be the Nosferatu. You
I just want to be a
suave debonair.
This sounds kind of like What We Do in the Shadows.
I would love to. I mean, that's my favorite TV show of right now. So
I haven't seen the show, but
the show is so good. I would
I haven't seen it.
highly recommend.
I like the movie.
Yeah,
a lot.
I think it's better than the movie.
And then finally, I had Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's coming to the Xbox.
I just like seeing the plastic surgery on that guy.
I'm so excited.
And I was super mad when I saw him. I'm like, you could be making Monkey Ball 3.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah.
Now hold on.
I'm not saying the Yakuza games aren't great because they are, but I just need more Monkey Ball, and he abandoned that series after 2, and it still hurts.
I think he got out of it as much as he had to. I think of Katamari.
I don't care. I need it.
All right, I'm ready to play this. I love some of the Yakuza series. Some.
Yeah.
The trailer looked cool.
0 was fantastic. I played Kiwami 2, and then I played 6. And I love this series. There's only so much I can take of it at a time, obviously.
Yep.
But the fact that this has RPG mechanics,
all the fighting is turn-based, which they didn't
buy.
show in the trailer. Funnily enough,
It's all turn-based?
It's turn-based now, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll keep playing.
You can play all other 12.
I know you don't take turns when you're fighting someone.
Me
Ever.
first. Me first. You last.
But
That's also your love life, right?
whoa.
It's all life. That's how it goes.
It's all life to us.
It's true. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I just played through Judgment this last summer, and I was cool with that. I liked it. Great localizations on those games. So.
And we just want to take a quick moment to thank some new Twitter followers we got at Champ News Ends, and of course at Mama Nia Nader.
Mama Nia Nada.
Thanks for following us.
Mama Nia Nada. Thanks for the follow. Yeah.
And
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Captain Ninfrendo Dylan Hoff is here.
I am.
We have some Nintendo.
It's like you forgot.
Oh, shit, that's me. We have some Nintendo news, and we wanted you to be here for this.
Yes. Anything Nintendo, I got an opinion on.
Nintendo was just awarded coolest company ever.
Dylan, Super Nintendo friend, we were talking earlier, and thank you for getting off of Animal Crossing Island. and allowing the SWAT team to extract you.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I actually stopped playing like 2 weeks ago.
All right, good.
I couldn't deal.
I could imagine you were like Colonel Kurtz going
Actually,
up
Allie, after she's done playing as her character, I'm like, can you just say hi to all the villagers for me? And then she'll actually she'll make some bells for herself. And I'm like, you can have it. It's fine.
Nice. Cool. Now, you said there was going to be a Nintendo Direct that got pushed back.
There were rumors that one would happen in June around E3 time, because that's usually what Nintendo does. And now it's being pushed back severely.
Okay.
This is what I've heard. It sounds like the work from home policy in Japan is producing a lot of delays and backups. A lot of finishing touches on games, apparently, that have already been completed. There was a rumor that I read on Reddit. So maybe grain/pinch of salt. Yep. Pikmin 3 port.
Oh, okay. I've never played a Pikmin game still.
Oh, you loser.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
I've never played one either. I've never played one either, and I will say this. Tom, you are a loser.
It's perfect.
You guys are dumb.
Hey.
You guys are so stupid.
Pikmin is...
I tried playing Pikmin. It looked boring.
Dude,
it looks cute, charming.
It's truly baby's first RTS, but it's so much fun. It's kind of a puzzle game at the same time, too. And the environments are gorgeous. Pikmin 3, it's the best game on the Wii U.
Okay.
Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze.
Josh, have you played Pikmin?
Best one.
No. I know it exists.
All right. Has Laura played Pikmin?
No. She'll probably like it.
And that was our Pick Minute.
Yeah.
Pick Minute.
All right. So it's being pushed to June.
It should be... It's probably going to be pushed to July.
Oh, to July.
It was supposed to be in June.
In June. Okay. Gotcha.
When they're messing around with one of their biggest franchises, they don't want to fuck it up. And Pikmin is a titan.
Pikmin has the potential to become extremely popular, but they've never advertised it properly.
Wii Music, maybe. Pikmin, not so much.
I don't know. Olimar is not a good poster boy.
Well, it's never been just Olimar.
Well, I don't care about the other little.
He's only in the first game.
Whatever. I don't know.
Oh, does he die like George Clooney?
No, he gets off the planet, and then it's other people who get stranded.
Pikmin.
Oh, that's what happens.
No, Pikmin does.
That's dark. I love it.
No, it's the creatures that eat them. Pikmin are friends.
Shodan shows up.
That's your opinion. I'd rather. What if the creatures? They got to survive too, and if they have to eat Pikmin
Some
to
Pikmin
live.
don't actually have mouths.
Good.
Okay.
They absorb nutrients through their feet, from what I understand.
All right. Well, Captain Inferno, did you hear about this leak that happened to Nintendo?
Basically, that like terabyte worth of data.
2 terabytes. 2,000 gigabytes.
Terrible is more like it.
Is there only like 32 gigabytes on the console?
And they got hacked, or one of their contractors got hacked. I don't know if you read the story. Or
I watched that link you sent me. I hadn't heard of it up until that point.
Okay, yeah.
It seems really intriguing.
Yes.
A lot of data for emulation and ROMs.
Absolutely. Yeah, source code
very
from the
illegal information.
Yeah, 2 terabytes of data, including console source code, all the way from the N64 to the Wii.
Cool. Cool.
Development documents, assets, ROMs, demos, and this is funny. I actually read this. Internal PowerPoint presentations, including one that actually goes into why Nintendo chose friend codes over traditional usernames.
This sounds fascinating. I don't care about the source code so much, but their PowerPoint sounds very cool.
So there are independent people doing their research on this right now. During the next year, we're just going to see weird little tidbits pop up about like their strategy on how they deal with things. I guarantee you somewhere in there's some like marketing plan. There's got to be a PowerPoint for amiibos, just amiibos. And they're going to be like, this is how we're going to make everyone obsessed. And they knew it. I feel like they knew.
Yeah.
I feel like they're also smart enough to never say that. Obsessed stuff.
No, but that's the problem.
I don't know if it's going to be as recent as Amiibo, because it does seem like it might stop at the Wii, although only 2 gigabytes of the 2 terabytes has been released.
I have a feeling there's going to be Wii U information.
My God.
So apparently a contractor of Nintendo called Broadon had its servers hacked, and the thieves took 2 terabytes of data. Broadon was a company hired by Nintendo during the Wii generation to develop hardware and the software. So we were talking about the emulation, and I think most notably out of everything that has been released so far is all the information on the Wii. There's been documentation, diagrams, and actually the code that describes how all of the Wii's components and circuits interact with each other.
Right.
So that means essentially people can make like a 100% accurate emulator for the Wii.
Yes.
So
if they so choose.
How damaging would this actually be to Nintendo? If this is stuff from the past, this just sounds like something that's super cool for people that are into emulation or into...
That's a lot of, but
clone console manufacturers could take this shit.
Yes.
And just create
So
knockoffs.
Frankenstein.
So you
go
played
for it.
How many emulators have you played though?
All of them.
Okay. So have you really?
I mean, I've played a lot of emulators.
I'm just making sure I'm not like just talking down.
I am not recording this podcast right now. Yes, please. Which ones do you play?
So,
Oh, yeah.
well, one of my favorites is a modified Visual Boy Advance Medium.
Yeah, I
There you
had
go.
to emulate a PC on my Mac in order to put emulated games onto my NES
We
Classic.
probably shouldn't be saying this.
Yeah, edit that out, Tom.
Oh, God.
Let's actually edit this.
This is in the
whole
Nintendo
part out.
Minute. Oh my God.
Okay, now I'm gonna try to get back on top.
I edit you guys out anyway, so it's just a blanket edit.
These aren't
Just
even,
fine.
these aren't even on.
That's great. It's like a Fisher Price toy.
But
I'm calling the phone like mommy.
But it's a boon to the emulation homebrew and the preservation.
They have
scene.
they have a perfect Game Boy emulator. That's one of the things.
Frank's Game Boy
Frank's-
Advance. Was
No,
it?
the first Game Boy is notoriously hard to get right in emulation.
Yeah.
They got it.
So
Think of how Frank Cifaldi felt about this. He went, ooh.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
He found out who these people were because this is all posted to 4chan, I bet. Or they probably went to him and said, "Hey, man, how much are you going to pay for this?"
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a so do you.
4chan don't exist no more. It's 8kun now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yikers.
It's a great place to go.
Couldn't
But
pay
yeah,
you.
like you said, it's rare to get I don't think there's ever been like a 100% accurate emulator. And
No, it's nearly impossible. And
it's all reverse engineered.
And from what I
to
understand,
make it legal.
Exactly. Well, it has to be. But the people who provide the info, like there are some like people serious in the emulator community who are more interested in like preserving the legacy of these games and making sure they still exist. And whenever they get like a insider info on how to emulate or giving like exact like specs for an emulator, like the actual program itself, apparently they just turn them down because it's like, well, that's super duper illegal.
Right.
Like there's a difference between reverse engineering and actually just straight up stealing.
Yeah, I made a note of that. One of the developers behind the Dolphin emulator, which is like a huge emulator, millions of dollars have gone into the development.
They
of this
still
thing.
haven't perfected a GameCube emulator.
Right, it's
yet.
a GameCube
Yeah.
emulator. The guy straight out said, like, no, I don't want any access to this. I don't want to look at it because if Nintendo can prove that any bit of their code is in our emulator,
You're out of money forever, yeah.
they can just fucking shut it down.
While he also is at home just kind of looking at it.
Probably. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's kind of cool, but like we said, the clone console manufacturers could probably have a field day with this. I don't know if that's really going to make Nintendo have a monetary hit, but they are pretty
They're not.
litigious.
It's
But I can't wait to see because there's Pokemon ROMs that were leaked.
well, the reality of this is for a lot of people, this showed how weird they're being about the Switch. For me, opinion wise, I really do. I think this is kind of weird because they give us all of these games piecemeal and like through like little programs when at any time they could be giving us access to all of these games with perfect emulation. So
Yeah.
I don't understand really why they haven't like put Game Boy or
Right. Maybe Reggie
something
hacked
else on
this.
there.
Maybe Reggie's the hacker. I guess we'll wait to see what happens here. I can't wait to see like a
nothing's gonna
pixel
happen.
perfect Mario Galaxy running in 8K on my 2080 Ti.
Well, there's still that rumor that we might actually just have that on.
Super Mario All-Stars 2.
yeah. I don't think
They
ever,
might as well call it.
I don't think we ever
That's
talked
a
about that
perfect
on the
name
podcast.
for
but yeah.
Sunshine 64, Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
3D
Galaxy
World.
2 is going to come with it.
I think they should.
They should. I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I think that'll be DLC. I think that's season pass.
Smart. Wicked smart.
I think
you're
that's
right.
an extra 20 in season pass.
Boom. We called it.
All right.
Called it right here on the Dogcast.
You heard it here last post.
All right.
And if I were Nintendo.
Finally, the last bit of Nintendo news we have here: the Nintendo Switch has officially sold over 55 million units since its launch, surpassing the SNES. And it's got the fucking
Fucking
NES
awesome.
in its sight.
Nintendo's king again, baby.
How
Man.
many units has the NES sold?
61 point something million.
The Switch is getting that for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
done. You know how people are clamoring for this. They've still got their economic stimulus checks. You think that some of them don't have $300 set aside for a Switch once it becomes available again?
Try to find a Switch right now.
You cannot.
Just go ahead. Try
Nowhere. I actually need a new pair of Joy-Cons because Allie's wearing down mine.
Mine's got the drift.
Are they drifting?
Actually, I've never noticed because I don't use the Joy-Cons.
Yep.
But
So
Carly mentioned it's like
the drift,
it keeps moving.
Really?
I can actually fix that for you. I know how to replace the analog sticks.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've done it a million times. All you have to do is order them from Amazon for me, and I can do it.
Yeah.
55 million is also roughly half of the PS4 sales to date, so it's gaining.
It's going to make it, considering it's only been out for 2 years. Sorry,
I don't
a little
know.
longer.
We'll see. Once they do
almost 3 years. Wow.
The Switch 4 Nomad will be cool, like the 4th iteration.
Yeah. You need to kickstart that shit, man. You got the Nomad in the...
I want to make the Switch portable.
It is portable.
I want to get a screen attachment for the Switch.
There you go, yes. Remote play.
God, yeah.
So good job, Nintendo.
Glass that comes over the front of it.
Yes.
I want to make the Nintendo Switch into Virtual Boy.
Yay!
There we go.
I just have it strapped to my head.
Josh, are you going to get another Switch?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
You don't like the Switch, Josh?
I'm fine with it. I bought it for Laura. I play a few things on there,
Doom's on it.
but it's a lesser version of it, right?
I mean, I don't know. I've played it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It doesn't touch
Already-
Doom VFR.
Of course. Please, God, no. And the last two things here are just a couple remaster rumors that came out this last week. One is Shepard, you got it, buddy. A Mass Effect trilogy is rumored to
see you in HD, Shepard.
It's not pretty. Look at
I don't know
my
if I can
face
play
loaded.
through those games again. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mild excitement. I've already beaten these games enough.
I've
Yeah.
played each one about 3 times.
So a story from VentureBeat about EA. A source within EA has claimed that the long-desired Mass Effect trilogy is officially being remastered
Is it
and
long desired?
Oh yeah.
Briefly considered.
Hold on. If you have it on PC, congratulations.
If they just
It's
make
already there.
If they make all of it have like one combat system for all 3, that'd be cool.
I think people just want a Mass Effect game to come out and be good, and people know that these are good.
People, honestly, they just miss the characters. They just want to hang out with Rex again.
I'd be interested to see if they do anything to the first one.
I haven't banged an alien in a long time. I need this Mass Effect trilogy.
This is prime alien banging time.
Since I banged Javik on Andromeda, I still felt very weird about that.
Fuck it, A.
Javik's pretty cool, though.
So the rumor is the game's coming out at the end of their EA's fiscal year, which is March 2021. So it should be out by then, apparently. But don't expect it to come out for Switch right away.
But my thought is actually, really, who is clamoring for this?
Did you remember? There was a lot. This was a couple of years ago.
I don't think
people
people are clamoring. Everyone just expects it because everything else is getting remasters. Everything's getting trilogies just put on one thing.
But
it's just expected at this point.
But at the same time, like, I mean, I don't know. I own them on the PC, and I can make them run at the highest specs you can ever like imagine, and it looks great, and they play fantastic. I haven't actually played them though. I literally bought them in a sale for about $15 altogether.
I know how it goes. Yeah.
And I just can't see myself. For new fans, sure, this is cool. Like for people who maybe skipped a few generations, that's awesome. But what does that get us? There's no new content. There's nothing really going on here.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that's me being pessimistic.
I'm not going to play them, but I can understand why people are just like, I want to replay these in nicer
I want to
graphics.
spend $20 on this trilogy and just have it and never play it, but know that I have it.
Yeah.
That's what most people do with games now, though.
That's what everyone does when they get those remastered ones. It's very rare that they're going to replay it.
Yep.
What's the other one you got, Tom?
And the last one is, this one just came out. Apparently, according to a French site, Actu Gaming, remastered Diablo 2 is rumored to be in development.
That would be interesting.
This one's supposed to be called Diablo 2 Resurrected and is being worked on by Vicarious Visions, a studio internal to Activision, who has recently worked on Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy.
They did a good job.
And the PC port of Destiny 2. So the site has been right about a bunch of predictions in the past, so people are thinking that maybe this is going to happen. But yeah.
I prefer Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 any day.
Yeah. Diablo 3 is the only one I played.
Diablo 3 is so arcadey. It just makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 is more RPG-like. It's a little more methodical. Like, you have to think more about what you're doing. It's not just spam attacks with each button.
Yeah, I know Blizzard got a beating over their recent remaster of Warcraft 3 Reforged. That was not supposed to be
People
very
hate it.
great.
I'm not sure why. I've never played it. So
yeah, I don't know. That's just the rumors. But that has been your news. Now,
I've been playing Farming Simulator 19.
God
have
damn
you
it.
really?
And
Well, this is the what's your playing segment of the show.
Yep.
I can't fucking
What are you guys
believe
playing,
it.
guys?
That's so cool. I want to hear more about Farming Simulator 19.
what are you farming, first of all?
Well, the episode of Gift Horse comes out in 2 days. It came out yesterday to our viewers that are catching this live.
Oh, he got it for free. Sorry.
Farming Simulator 19 came out for the PS Plus, and people are petitioning PlayStation. They're so pissed about this. They wanted to. People were very upset that they didn't think this is a real video game. And when I saw this was being like the PS Plus, I fucking lost it. I was excited.
That's cool, because you never would have played this. You never would
You're
have
a
bought
farmer
it.
at heart.
It's like, okay, Xbox, oh, we got another racing game. Who gives a shit? PlayStation makes the bold move to give me 2 simulators, City Skylines and Farming Simulator 19. And
Right.
I'm going to be honest, the very first thing that happens when you boot up the game is you get the menu screen, and then there's a thing that says multiplayer, and that broke my mind. So if you want to watch me play
Trade
multiplayer Farm Simulator,
Dude.
check out Gift Horse on YouTube. It's worth it.
Nice.
Dude, I played the one that originally was released for the Switch. I own it. I do own the Farming Simulator for the Switch. It's literally the brand, but it's basically Farming Simulator 17, I
Yeah.
believe.
How
And
it's branded with the years.
and I'm going to be honest with you, those games are kind of the fucking tits. They're not bad.
They're good simulators.
yeah.
I grew up a farmer, and I want nothing to do with that shit ever.
As someone
You
who
want
is
to operate a thresher, baby?
Well, turns out if you want to, grow crops, arable crops, you got to
Yeah.
cultivate the land, you
Yes.
got to sow your seeds, and you got to harvest your crops. I didn't know this. I thought food came from.
Is it like
grocery
Sim City
stores.
where they have natural disasters and Godzilla comes through?
I put on the electric radio in my tractor, get some trance music on, and I'm out there harvesting. So besides that,
Make sure you're driving in a straight line, buddy.
I was all dude. I was
Don't
trying
take
to
too
draw.
much. Don't get too much of that moonshine.
I was
in you.
trying to draw penises into crops and stuff.
Ah, man. Yeah. I mean, if only you could make crop circles.
Oh, crop
my
ballet.
God, crop circle.
No reason you
simulator.
can't. Apart from that, I beat the FF7 remake, and I started getting ready for the next Raw Dogs episode, where Dylan and I will be discussing Batman versus Spider-Man games. So today I played all the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and just those like 8 games so far of Batman and Spider-Man games. But
I played some of the Arkham games over the past 2 weeks.
yeah, they're good.
I have some controversial opinions.
They're
Be sure to listen.
they're
Start
fun.
great.
They're fun games. They're maybe not good Batman games.
I just don't really think they're good games.
What? The Arkham games?
I just love
The first one is
First one's
fabulous.
great.
The second 2, take them or leave them. Just
we'll talk about it.
I don't know.
We'll talk
that
about
second
it.
one.
You'll have to tune in. I feel very specifically.
Arkham Knight
about
did
these.
some interesting story things until a certain point.
Not interesting.
As
if
long
you've
as
ever read
Mark
a
Hamill,
comic book
as
in
long
your
as
life.
Mark Hamill is singing and talking and dancing, that makes up. And they brought Pig. They brought Pig into Arkham Knight, which was very cool.
You mean Professor Pig?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I give him his nickname. Him and I are buddies.
Pigsy from Manhunt.
Pigsy. I call him Pigsy.
If you've ever read a comic book, none of the stuff that happens in these games,
All right. Yeah.
It's almost like a retelling.
they're not retellings.
Yeah,
they're
retellings.
just
They're not.
If you want a retelling, dude,
It's a different
you need
universe.
To play you need to play
Yeah.
the Telltale game because that is a true retelling.
Fuck
It's
the Telltale
really
games.
good.
Dylan, what
It's
have you been
great.
playing lately?
I've been playing a lot of games because I have nothing else to do. But most notably, I'm playing Mother 3. I got a copy from Japan.
Tell your children not to walk my way.
I love. That's actually my go-to in karaoke.
Nice.
No, I'm serious. It is. So I haven't been playing it on a ROM at all. I definitely learned Japanese just for this.
Right.
Good.
It was just
And-
leaked.
And so there's one great part. I'm a huge Earthbound fan. I don't know if you know, it's in basically like my top 3 games of all time. I love Earthbound. I know it inside and out. I could probably play it with my hands tied behind my back and
Never
just
played
using
it.
my penis to play.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But there's
Do
something
in quarantine?
There's something
Make mother with my penis.
I avoided this for the longest time, believing that at some point Nintendo was going to drop this, and they were just going to give me it on like the Switch or the Wii U or something like that.
Hey Reggie, where's Mother 3?
Exactly, and it never happened.
Just if people are making a meme out of it, just fucking release it.
Yeah.
There are some culturally sensitive things that happen in this game. I can see why they're having even trouble grasping why they would want to put this out.
Yeah.
There are characters called Magypsies.
The Dylan experience.
Gypsy, I see you.
They're called
Gypsy.
Magypsies, and they're all cross-dressers.
Okay.
It is
I'm into it.
They're
more or
sure
less
fans.
overt. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Me and Tom, we live in Walker's Point, and this is basically the neighborhood. This is where,
Neighborhood, yep.
yeah.
These are the people in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, and so we
The
live.
people that I podcast
I
with.
live in Bayview.
We live relatively close to like.
I live in Gayview.
A ton of gay bars. We see drag people all the time. I love that stuff, but
Yeah.
I think Nintendo is having a hard time kind of getting that mentality to work for other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would think with the ubiquitous the ubiquity of
Ubisoft is how you say it.
of drag culture, you think it would be fine by now, but I guess they're having trouble with it.
They put Toad in a dress.
But there's something really cool with this battle system where if you hit buttons at the right time, you can do combos.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
With the turn base, but the problem is when you're not emulating it. I mean, emulating it.
Playing it legally, you mean? Of course.
You can't get the timing right.
Oh.
So literally, what I had to do is I found a solution online. I actually went into the programming of the emulator, and I changed it.
Oh, nice.
And now it works
Like an
perfectly.
INI file, or did you actually go
Yeah.
in? Okay, yeah.
I coded for the first time in my life.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Congrats.
Coded 19.
Coded 19.
Boom.
No, now it plays perfectly. It's probably going to shape up to be my favorite. I can't tell you though. I'm only 10 hours in. It's wonderful. The character designs are so cool.
Yeah.
You ever played it?
I have not. I've not played a Mother game.
Never
Earthbound
played
or Mother. Yeah.
Oof.
I want to.
Well,
Always wanted
for
to.
Raw Dogs at some point, I would love to do a Shigesato Itoi episode because
Gesundheit.
when you look him up, when you look this guy up, the creator of Mother, when you look him up online, it doesn't say video game designer under his Wikipedia.
Right.
Do you want to know what it says?
Father.
Copywriter.
We need to do another
Copywriter.
copywriter.
That's what he is under Wikipedia. These
That's
are the
like
only
Thomas
games he's
Edison.
ever made.
Oh, wow. Okay.
These are the only games he's ever made.
Yeah.
And he's done so many things throughout his life. He's technically my hero. I would love to make a video.
Yeah, let's put that on the books for a Raw Dogs episode. We haven't done
yeah.
like a creator
Spreadsheet.
deep dive in a while. That sounds fun.
Shigesato is very interesting. He's also married to a Japanese voice actress.
I want to do an episode on the Yakuza Monkey Ball guy too.
Oh shit! I have so much
like
to say about Monkey Ball.
personalities?
Or maybe
Tamanobu
we don't want them to come
Itagaki?
after us though. I don't know.
Yeah. What else
Yeah,
have you been playing, Dylan?
God, you know.
You still doing the Sekiro attrition?
Oh, I'm at the end of Sekiro.
Are you? Good for you, man.
Finally, this is a game that has caused me a lot of pain and trauma mentally.
Yeah.
There is a very specific way they want you to play this game, and I've said it before on another
like it.
podcast. How far did you get?
I'm on Madam Butterfly and then also the Bull. So, yeah.
Oh, the bull. Okay.
Yep.
Because after that, it
not
really
gonna
starts
get
to
any
it starts to split in different directions.
Okay.
It becomes so much more compelling once you get a bunch more of these abilities and you're able to actually practice them. It's transcendent. This is actually my technically favorite Souls or a FromSoft game right now.
Oh, really? Cool.
And I'm going to be honest, I put Metal Wolf Chaos in there too. So,
Which I do want to play.
I would love for us to do a let's play at some time. Not a let's play, that's stupid, but a stream
A dog's play.
for Sekiro. Well, it'd be nice to
Scale back.
just stream it because I want to show off my skills because I've gotten so good
Yeah.
at this game, even at my dumbest.
I should
if you know
have
what
you
I'm
beat the
saying.
bull for me so I can keep going.
Oh, the bull is simple, baby.
Oh, baby.
Do you know how to run? Have you practiced your run?
I haven't played it in like 4 months, so
Well, that's
I
what we're
need to
gonna
get
do.
back into it.
Beautiful.
Well, that's
I've been playing a ton of other stuff too. It's just not worth bringing up every
Just
single one.
dibbling, dabbling.
So let's just put up the most notable.
So Josh, I know that you defeated some hell priests and demon spawn. What else besides Barbie Dream World have you been playing?
I beat Doom. I just got started on Mortal Kombat 11. Going through the story mode. Not too far in, but I did a lot of just single match just to check out all the fatalities, and that's always the funnest part.
You see, they're releasing Robocop as a with Peter Weller.
Freeze, you scum.
I'm not mad about that.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
That makes me want to play the game. Actually.
So the story mode, is it kind of, I think it was Mortal Kombat 10 where I played it, but is this story mode where you jump between a lot of characters, or do you kind of main as one?
Yeah, it's just like Injustice. That's made by both the same guys, right?
Netherworld.
Nether region.
Yeah, which
Netherrealm,
works
sorry.
fine. It's like a whatever, how many hour story, and it's usually like Mortal Kombat's always been a really great story for a fighter game.
Yeah,
even back in the day.
I mean, they do the story mode well.
I'm a yellow ninja. I'm a blue ninja.
Have you
played
to Daniel Pacina about the Lin Kuei?
Oh my God.
No, I'm excited. I listen.
We love you, Dan.
Fucking love you, Dan.
Yeah.
And we love you, Wittenhagen. We love you
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Yes.
Wittenhagen teased me. He texted me the other day. It's like, guess what? I'm like, I don't know. He said, he said, I got a really big announcement coming up. And I said, okay, what is it? He's like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
All right,
He just
troll.
had to brag about
Wait,
that.
Love you. All right, so Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Who's
I'm pretty early into
who's
it.
the guy you prefer to play as? I know the story they make you play whoever they tell you to play, but
You know, I click with Johnny Cage quite well.
yeah.
He just likes punching people in the balls.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna
know,
get there.
actually, I can almost pick up a player, any of them, and just roll with it.
Not Curtis Stryker, though. Fuck that character.
He's in like what, one game?
And
Two?
then they ditched him so hard.
I'm more of a Nightwolf
Yeah,
guy.
people are speculating that Robocop is actually who Curtis Stryker became.
That's
Or they should like replace Stryker with just Peter
Wow.
Weller as in human form.
that'd be fun to just do an episode just discussing all the Mortal Kombat characters. The best, the worst,
Oh,
and the
dude, yeah,
weirdest.
let's put that on the list because I think the lore is funny anyway. So
I
it's
had to write this down.
well, because I am actually a Nightwolf main. I have played
Nightwolf?
Mortal Kombat 11.
We gotta have
it's
a month.
really good.
We have Mortal Mania. We'll have a whole month of Mortal Kombat.
I just have like 3 days.
You know the
3 days.
the cool part about Mortal Kombat.
I'm in.
Yeah. All right, Josh. What else you been playing, man?
I did pick up the PlayStation Now. That's the streaming app, I believe. It was like $44 for the whole year.
Yep.
That math is under $4 a month.
What else you been
And
playing
there's
on
a lot of shit on there. I played Sonic Fighters.
it? Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I just played a bunch of random stuff. Played some Crazy Taxi for old time's sake.
Crazy
Katamari.
Taxi.
Katamari.
Da-da. Yeah. Do they have the Offspring music in that? I think that's a licensing thing.
Oh
Right?
yeah, don't get me started on the Offspring music.
Okay, good.
Depends on the emulator you play it on.
Good. Yeah.
I'm not as good as I used to be. That's for sure.
Take me to Taco
I played it
Bell.
on Dreamcast back in the day.
Yeah.
Man, I started Heavenly Sword.
Okay.
I always wanted to play that.
Ninja Theory. Fuck yeah.
PS3
perennial
days.
2007 classic.
Yeah. Katamari Forever, I believe. I never
Oh, that
played
one
one of
rules.
those games. I always wanted to. Man, that's some weird shit.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
My recommendation, Josh, is that you should play the remaster that came out for Katamari.
Yeah.
That one is actually a really good switch buy.
I was playing that the other day.
So good.
I love the Eternal mode where you can just play the levels as long as you want.
Oh, you can really then pay attention to the detail that they put into these worlds.
Love it.
I love it very much. I love it.
Anything
very
else, Josh?
much.
I'm sure there's a few other oddballs. But I do plan on picking up a Game Pass finally, probably in the next whatever days I get some time.
Yeah.
So,
Dude.
I'll,
when you
I'll
do,
join
let
you
us
guys
know.
on there. We can play some Sea of Thieves and some weird shit.
Dog, I've been waiting to play Sea of Thieves,
need
and I thought
to.
about going off on my own and becoming a
We
fabulous
need
pirate.
to. All together now.
And then you guys could join me on my ship, and I could drag you through it.
Yeah.
but
I'll join you.
Yeah, but
You could be
I would
captain.
be so
Are you
above
Captain
you.
Dylan?
I mean, maybe I'll do that. Actually, that sounds fun.
Hey,
Yeah, man. When you get that, let us know.
for sure.
So yeah, on my birthday, the lady and I wanted to play a game, or she wanted to play a game. So we ended up playing Streets.
Who wore the outfit?
Well, that was after. Yeah, she was Axel.
She was Wednesday
And I was
Addams and you
Blaze.
were Ken.
Yes, we played through Streets of Rage 4, which was released on Game Pass. The new Streets of Rage game.
Oh, that's on Game Pass.
Yep.
Shit.
Oh,
We
geez.
played through it. It
I'm
was
downloading that tonight.
It was pretty fun. It is a straight up fucking homage to Streets of Rage. They don't do anything really different outside of the updated graphical style, which is nice.
And it's an homage if it's a sequel.
Well, it's true, yeah. But you know what I mean. Like as far as like an updated version, they didn't do too much different. They didn't stray from the mold, let's say, because
keep it the game it is. Right?
Yeah, because that River City Girls that we played previously does a little more with the genre, I think, as far as progression. But we had a lot of fun playing it. It's one of those games where you can beat each other up, if you're not watching out for each other, and it becomes pretty fun.
What did Kate rate it out of?
She liked it. She actually loves Streets of Rage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She seems like an angry person.
She brought over her Genesis games tonight, and she has 2 copies of the first Streets of Rage.
Yeah, and a copy of the second one.
And the third, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
She's a fan. We played through that. That was fun. It was a good use of like an hour and a half. Finished Final Fantasy VII, and we can probably talk about that some other time.
I would love to discuss the spoilers with you.
I will say I was about... Oh, look at that.
Oh, shit.
Nice. Is that a...
Turtles of Rage? Is that a ROM hack?
Turtles.
Yeah.
It's a total bootleg.
Oh, that's cool.
Ninja Turtles in Streets of Rage 2.
Okay.
You play as the characters. You play. It's the same. I believe they take in Hyperstone Heist Turtles, and they flip flopped them. I don't know what. I haven't actually played it yet, but I got it maybe 5 months ago or something.
Right on, man.
Randomly.
That's cool. I didn't even know that existed.
Looks fun.
Yeah. Finished Final Fantasy VII. I will say that I was a few beers deep by the time I got to the ending.
I made that mistake too.
So the gravity of the ending didn't really hit me until the next morning when I'm like, wait a minute.
Let's save this because this needs to be a longer discussion.
I have thoughts.
I have many thoughts, but we can't talk about that yet.
Okay.
No, we can't.
Let's just say I had to watch the ending again, and I have feelings.
We can't open up that can of worms.
Not
we
while
want
Josh
this to
is
be
here,
its
guys.
own episode.
I told you guys when I said
I know you spent almost 10 minutes with that game watching the ending. You son of a
You didn't even have to
bitch.
slave through
I
the game.
watched an entire playthrough. I said, I'm probably not going to play this.
You didn't watch the entire playthrough.
Yes, I did. It
Just
was
like you
about-
read a book and didn't even know Don Corneo was in it.
No, yeah.
Busted.
I didn't read that one. I pretended I did.
I can't
Because I couldn't read another
your
one.
credibility
of
is
those
just suspect now.
books. Yes, that's true.
I watched the entire playthrough. You watched like 5 minutes of 20 different videos.
Well, that one I actually watched a 20-hour-long one. I had it in the background.
Yes.
Which means you're not.
I watched it while playing Trails of the Sky. Trails in the Sky.
I read a book while watching a Nicolas Cage film.
Yeah.
Those don't work, you know?
Wicker Man's a great movie.
It's like watching a playthrough is like reading an audio.
But not if you're doing something else. It's much different when you actually have that gameplay experience.
Okay, so Final Fantasy VII. I also finished Resident Evil 3.
You mentioned this, Tom. You got this started.
Sorry. We're pulling it back here.
I just don't
All
trust Tetsuya Nomura. I don't trust him.
As long as he's. Well, see what you did here, Tom.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay.
Trust him.
I just want to say I did also finish Resident Evil 3. It was very good, and it made me go back and try to finish the second campaign of Resident Evil 2.
How long was your playthrough of 3?
3 was probably
2 hours?
7 or 8 hours. It was just slightly longer.
I hear it's so disappointingly short.
It's pretty short, but it's Resident Evil 2 is short if you only play one campaign, so it's about that length. But the ending is very satisfying. I realize it's a different style game than Resident Evil 2, more action focused, not a lot of jump scares. Because going from Resident Evil 3 back to 2, I was like, Resident Evil 2 does
what Nintendo don't.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You would think the game that has Nemesis in the title would be scary, and you'd be fighting for your life and dreading every encounter. It turns out Mr. X in Resident Evil 2 is way more effective than Nemesis. But
yeah, it looks like it.
Like I said, the ending of 3 is very satisfying, and I enjoyed my time with it. And it's cool how it weaves into the same time frame as Resident Evil 2, so you get to visit some of the same spots just a couple hours before you do in Resident Evil 2, and you get to see how some of the levels set up for 2.
Like the man with his daughter.
Well,
Man with the daughter, the police chief.
I will say this, though. If you've seen the Paul W.S. Anderson film, Resident Evil, you know who the Nemesis really is, and it affects the way you play a lot more.
Oh, okay.
I heard that the Nemesis
Speaking
is
of
man.
Paul W.S. Anderson...
Oh, we'll be speaking in and that's about it for me for what I've been playing. and what you've been playing.
I'll buy that game when it's $20.
Yeah, I would say it's not worth the 50. No. I tried playing the multiplayer Left 4 Dead thing, and I don't know.
I'm not too intrigued.
We actually talked to.
It's got Wesker's sister in it.
It's funny that he recorded that role and he didn't know it was for a Resident Evil game.
Yes,
that was baffling to me.
That was a question I was going to ask him about those jobs.
What a cool dude!
Yeah, awesome, and a nice guy. Like I said, it was a very thoughtful interview. So check that interview out. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with the ultimate debate of the century: which movie reigns supreme?
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
Neither.
Or Mortal Kombat
or Commander
versus Street Fighters. The movie.
The game.
No. Just the movies. So
the game movie.
Stay with us and listen to these fun shows from the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Ray, and this is my friend Alex. Hi. And we do a show called No More Whoppers.
Some call it corn, we call it therapy.
We're adults with the virility of men.
Want to hear us read snack food copy and talk about Japanese chips? Too bad!
Join us every month or so on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Dunn, and I'm inviting you to listen to Our 3 Cents, a weekly podcast where myself and two of my very best gaming chums are counting down our top 100 favourite video games of all time. For all the episodes and information, check out our website, www.our3cents.co.uk.
Hey everybody, this is Tom. Hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. Just wanted to drop in here for a quick second and give you a heads up that we had a bit of an audio hiccup in the next segment where a few of our microphones dropped out. So we had to use the room microphone over our normal radio microphones. So just wanted to let you know in case you're wondering why a few of us sound like we're talking in the middle of the room. But we hope you have as much fun listening to the debate between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter as we did actually doing the debate. It was a blast and it got kind of contentious. So on with the show. Enjoy. Yeah. Hey everybody, we're back.
Oh yeah.
Al Gore 2020.
For the topic of the show, and it's going to be a brawl. So we are going to have a good old-fashioned debate. What movie is the best? Between Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. You know the movies. You love them. Yes. But to have a decent debate, we need to have a good moderator. So we've invited Danny DeVito.
Matt, don't move. Danny DeVito is right behind you right now.
From the Better in 3D podcast, we have Matt Grennier. Hey, man.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Thanks for joining us.
I mean, it's a dream come true. This is what I've been hoping to happen since the moment I met you, Tom, to be on a podcast with you.
Matt, you sly dog. I told you about this podcast.
Hey, remember? I thought we were friends.
Yes. So Matt is going to be our moderator and also judge and jury for the evening.
Jeez.
Very biased.
This sucks. I wanted an impartial judge.
That's someone who's in love with Tom.
Also,
no one's in love.
Dylan, did you like the fact that I was just lying to your face the other day when we were chatting about this? I was like, oh, Mortal Kombat podcast.
Well, you didn't lie. I mean, it's a lie of omission. It's not an actual lie. Let's get clear. See, this is how good I am at debating.
That's right. So, Matt, before we get started, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So everyone who doesn't know me, which I would assume is pretty much everyone. My name is Matt Grennier. I host a podcast that's about drinking and movies that I sometimes do with Brad and Dylan. It's called Better in 3D. And I always feel like we are like sister podcasts because, you know, the common thread is, you know, drinking.
Absolutely.
Sisters doing it for themselves.
And you're straight out of Milwaukee.
Doing it for themselves.
So are you a weekly podcast, Matt?
Yes, we are a weekly So we are
You're a whatever podcast.
We are a little bit like that. We just put out what we got. We've been putting out more recently because the quarantine, trying to get more content out for everyone else. Just also because we're just bored at home, so we've been Skyping episodes in pretty regularly. But yeah, we're about a weekly thing. We're movies, but we're not. Our catchphrase is we're definitely not experts and we're definitely not sober because we're just trying to recreate the conversation you have at a bar about a movie you like. So just anything movie adjacent, plus drinking. So that's kind of what we do.
Knowledgeable, maybe not, but a ton of fun. I would say yes.
Yes.
Right.
And you have a really, I like you, but your co-host Allison is the real star of the show. True.
Yeah. Yes. Let's be honest. There's a reason they turn in because they say, "Ooh, movies and drinking," but then they hear me and they almost hear it off. But then they hear Alice, and I assume everyone, your listeners, know who the Alice I'm referring to is Dylan's better half. She's my co-host of my podcast, and the only reason anyone pays attention.
Matt, have you seen Mortal Kombat and or Street Fighter?
So I was thinking about this today. I've probably seen Mortal Kombat somewhere between the 50 and 70 times in my life. That movie was major repeat as a child in our house. My brother and me loved that movie. I mean, mostly we just turn it on and just fight each other in the living room, but it was on a lot.
Okay.
And Street Fighter, I probably seen. I know I saw it in the theater because I had to because I love movies and I love Street Fighter. And then I probably saw a couple more times after that. I'm not trying to be biased, but it didn't have the zing and pop of Mortal Kombat. But I'm ready to be swayed that maybe I'm wrong about this. I watched it again today, just in prepping for this. So if anyone wants to, I got a fresh view of it now. So you guys can change my mind. That's the better one. I'm all for it.
I think I can.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Did you assemble a spate of questions?
I did. I did a couple things for you. I got about 10 questions set up, and we can get cut short or long. I got some back ones in case you guys want to keep arguing about it. I also got some weird, fun facts about the movies you want to know. These don't. I just thought were very interesting in my research for this little podcast. Like first one, fun fact: Jean-Claude Van Damme turned down the role of Johnny Cage to do the Street Fighter movie, which I thought was very hilarious.
Who was originally cast though as Sonya Blade before she broke her wrist?
I was going to get to that. That was Cameron Diaz. It was supposed to be Brigitte Wilson, but the process was taking too long, so she did Billy Madison instead. And because Cameron Diaz broke her wrist in rehearsals, the filming got set back, and then she was able to do it. So, she got to do both movies. She had to be in two famous, amazing '90s movies.
It was like the day after Billy Madison got done, she had to head right over.
Yeah. Here's the fun. Did you know that?
That is correct.
There we go. Steven Spielberg was supposed to be in Mortal Kombat. He was supposed to be the director in the Johnny Cage movie, and the shooting went long, and he was only had a 6-hour window, and so they couldn't do it. So he was a big fan of his kids were a big fan of the video game, so he was going to do a cameo in the movie.
And that's why they had a fucking lookalike instead of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's definitely meant to be a lookalike.
That scene where they're needing to shoot a Johnny Cage movie is actually the best looking cinematography that the movie produces.
I would Mortal Kombat is mostly a pretty
Let's get
movie.
the festivities started.
Well, let's say what the teams are. Tom and I are Team Mortal Kombat.
We drew randomly.
Yes, I want to make sure this is known as randomly. This is not necessarily how I would have put myself. I have to argue against my better half and against the better film.
Listen, I can go either way on this, but I'm Team Street Fighter.
You're losing.
Yeah.
You're losing. Me and Josh are going to whoop this.
I'm Mortal Kombat forever.
Okay.
I was Mortal Kombat. I am. Mortal Kombat is so much better.
You guys are giving it up here. Yeah, you guys are all losing.
Your team by being such a loser, Brad.
All right.
There's no
Matt, we relinquish support.
You suck.
Okay, so first debate question, and I guess you guys want to flip a coin who gets to answer the question first? Are we going to true debate style, or is this free form out here?
Matt, do you just choose, Matt?
All right. Well, because you're such a gentleman, I'm gonna let Brad's team answer the question first. My first question, I think, was just kind of a basic one. Which movie, for whatever reason, had the better script, the better story, especially being adapted from a video game?
So why does Mortal Kombat have the better script?
Mortal Kombat, what's great about that script is that it sticks close to the lore of the video game. And something that I think is really wrong with the Street Fighter script is it tries to pigeonhole so many different characters, except Fei Long. It chooses the ones that are important, and it focuses in on those characters.
I don't think there's any debate that Mortal Kombat is just a better representation of the video game, because it is the video game. You need to protect Earth, or avoid the invasion of Shao Kahn or fucking Shang Tsung. And they don't make any bones about putting in stupid military coups or hostages.
And just because Talisa Soto, who plays Kitana, doesn't know how to act, doesn't mean the script isn't good.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't know how to act. You're 100% on that one. As Team Street Fighter, how would you rebuttal against this? Why is your movie a superior script?
Well, I would offer that the script of Street Fighter was probably written a little more tongue in cheek, and in fact, in viewing of it, I watched it yesterday. It definitely comes across as more of a comedic effort. They're not taking themselves too seriously. They know what they're basing this off of. Like especially Raul Julia as Bison. Do you think he's actually playing that straight?
Yes.
He's not playing that. No, he's not playing that straight. He is doing this tongue in cheek. He is creating like back in the day, before video games were taken as like serious forms of art. I mean, some people. I would argue that this was a better written script comedically. Action wise, the plot makes a little bit more sense. There's less breakup in between each scene. You know what's going on. I'm sorry, in Mortal Kombat, characters, they shift locations all the time.
Street Fighter, you know what's going on?
But in Mortal Kombat, they don't know the passage of time. They don't show especially in the middle portion.
It's extremely linear, Mortal Kombat. They go to an island and they fight.
Yeah, but characters pop in and out, and they're really not given a time frame for any of this. With Street Fighter, you know that.
Street Fighter's time.
Yes, I do.
Dylan, I got to ask you a question.
And Bison wants to set up Shadaloo.
Yes,
Bisonopolis.
Matt,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, Dylan. I mean, I've seen the movie a few times. I still can't tell you the script of Street Fighter. Could you give me give me the elevator pitch without quoting some
two or three sentences?
Bison's ass.
So there's this military dictator who exists probably somewhere near Cambodia because they use a lot of shots from Cambodia, and he runs
the same outfits from Surf Ninjas
called Shadaloo, and he's preparing to create a army of genetic soldiers that he's going to unleash upon the world to take it over.
To create world peace.
To create world peace through domination. So what he does is, I don't know, he takes some random soldier and he's like, you'll be the first test.
Some random soldier. Sounds like a real important character in your script, huh?
Yeah.
Carlos Blanca.
It's not Jimmy.
And he says,
who plays the most American character in the movie?
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme as Colonel Guile.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that point was noted and heard by our.
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, at the same time, you've got to understand that this is all tongue in cheek. Like
That's how good.
Watch the fucking movie because at the end they have this freeze frame. Like, yeah.
Dylan, I have to debate. I have to be against you right now.
I know you did.
Okay, so you're wrong.
But that's fine.
It's the cheesiest thing ever.
Josh.
Also,
Josh, do you know who the screenwriter was for Street Fighter?
Yes. William Shakespeare.
Okay. Matt.
I don't know who wrote either.
The man who wrote Street Fighter was the same man who wrote Die Hard, Commando, and Running Man.
And the Flintstones.
I did know that. Shoot.
He was familiar. This is the only movie he actually directed. He directed a couple of like TV stuff, but he was normally a screenwriter, and he forgoed his. He thought the movie sucked. He was one and done. I'm like, never got another fucking directing job ever.
He wrote the greatest movie ever made, and he just backed out and dropped the mic. Why would you continue? Like when you made a masterpiece.
Are you talking about Flintstones?
Yes, Street Fighter starring the Flintstones.
That'd be a movie I would watch.
It's the greatest movie story of all time.
Anyways.
They had to. They had to go do so much work with this story because the original game's story is trash, and like they're lacking story completely. Half the stories aren't even there. So they.
Funny how Mortal Kombat has almost no story, and they make it work very well.
Yeah.
Oh, that is no story. Mortal Kombat's probably the worst story ever written. If you ever read the book,
age-old tale.
I'm talking to Pacina. Okay.
Yeah, we know the guy.
Okay.
We know fucking Scorpion.
Let's go to a different question because you guys are running in circles.
Do we win points on this one?
Do you want me to do a point tally for each question? Because it was for sure the Mortal Kombat crew got the right one, because I feel like I was going to vote for Street Fighter, and then Dylan kind of talked himself out of the point. He had me for a second. He's like, "Yeah, I guess it is tongue in cheek."
All the things in movies that nobody else likes.
Okay. All right. So we got 1-0 Team Mortal Kombat. Let Team Street Fighter answer this question first. And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but which movie has the better acting? And Dylan, in your defense, you can say that tongue in cheek was the style. That's a style of acting. So
that's what I'm saying. I think that people were being earnest, and I think that you can see that, especially with the grouping of Ming-Na Wen alongside her cohorts in the news crew.
You have one person you need to talk about right now.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the greatest American actor known to man.
I think
you couldn't even tell. You can. Or you may be able to tell he's changing his accent to American. That's how good of an actor he is.
I can tell.
You're laughing, and you just sound like you're laughing at yourself, guys. It's ridiculous. There's some other good actors in this movie. Vega, the real Vega.
Wait, just mention Vega as a good actor for his 1.5 scenes where he doesn't do anything.
Oh, he's in a lot of scenes.
He definitely stands around in the background.
All right, Street Fighter. Come on, Street Fighter.
The most spitting image of any character in either of these movies. Dylan, I'm sure you have some more.
It's not
you want to fill in on everything.
I'm going to argue that even in the throes of deadly cancer, Raul Julia.
Oh yeah.
M. Bison so well. He carried a gravitas. Like, he doesn't really look like M. Bison if you've played the game. He probably did when he was less emaciated. But like, because this was his last movie. Yeah. But he sold it so hard. He ran with that material, and he gave it such gravitas. And I would say that most of the actors did. I don't think... even thinking about like the comedic moments, even thinking about like the action moments, they're like, everyone liked that they were there, or at least it felt like it. I can't say that about Mortal Kombat. I can say like the way that Paul Anderson directs his movies.
T-Hawk sucked, but Raul Julia. Raul Julia is
wearing that bandana. Oh, it's a native Cherokee thing.
I'm in a boy band. I'm a Caucasian male.
His last name is Rainwater. Okay, Greg Rainwater played him, so it's official. Raul Julia is given the line, "You still refuse to accept my godhood. Keep your own god. In fact, this might be a good time to pray for him. For I beheld Satan as he fell from heaven, like lightning."
Yes.
Raul Julia makes it work. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of going with Street Fighter on this one. Raul Julia, I just want to say...
I won't say anything bad about Raul Julia.
We all concede Raul Julia is fantastic.
Can I say this? In
choose the scenery with such passion.
He's the only one that knows he's in a campy film, though.
Yes.
Now, if I were to choose my favorite character out of both franchises that I like playing as, it is always M. Bison. M. Bison is...
Oh, boo. M. Bison?
I love M. Bison.
I'm a big fan of Cammy.
He's got like this flippy kick, and then he can like levitate people with his psychic powers.
In the words of Carly, I would always go with Ginger Hulk Blanca.
Ginger Hulk.
Ginger Hulk. Also,
it's true.
You're talking acting, and you like Cammy. Did you like Kylie Minogue as Cammy? Because that's out of left field.
I guess she was an angel on set too.
I guess he couldn't get her out of his head.
There it is.
Yeah.
Don't start on Damien Chapa. Ken Masters. I mean, there was not anybody in the world that could play that role better. He was jacked. He was jacked, and in that red ninja outfit and such, he was just amazing. You got to give it up.
I think he won the award for worst uppercut in film history.
Oh, the turn, the Soryuken.
He's one hurt guy. He's one hurt guy, Brad.
I love it.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say that these two have botched this entire round by not even mentioning Andrew Bernyarsky as Zangief, delivering some of the best comedic lines in the film.
Come on, we weren't talking
He went on to create the character of Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw.
Protocol of the question.
I'm just saying, you're talking about best acting. You're talking about best acting. You didn't even mention the second best actor.
But I mean, like, we're talking in general. So you can bring up you could bring up those things specifically, but as a group.
He mentioned the actor for Ken.
Yeah,
that's how good he was as Ken.
Really hard to do.
Okay,
so Mortal Kombat Squad. How does Mortal Kombat acting hold up?
So they went through such a rigorous audition process. Robin Shao had to audition with 6 different people for the role of Liu Kang. How perfectly cast is he as both a martial artist and a performer. He nails Liu Kang to the T. And when it comes to the role of Shang Tsung, I mean, who else could it be but Johnny Tsunami's grandpa from the made-for-TV Disney film?
Amazing. He's like Bizarre World Jackie Chan.
And I know that
Jackie Chan.
Boone and Tobias were not super hot on a funny ride-in, but when they saw Christopher Lambert come in there and be snarky and silly and fun, they admitted, he's good.
That's the worst. That's the most.
And I think that wig needs to earn its own acting award.
Dylan, he's very realistic.
The characters in Mortal Kombat are well defined. Now, you watch Street Fighter. There's so many characters in there, you don't even know who half of them are, and you forget that even there. Dawson was in there?
Ken and Rue are fucking con men?
Dawson, Dr. Dawson.
No, you know who Shang Tsung is, you know who Goro is, you know who Katana is. They are delivering performances that you remember, and that is why I believe the acting in Mortal Kombat is easily better.
Dawson should have got his own show. He would have been better than House.
I mean, Street Fighter has fucking Wes Studi, one of the most celebrated actors of his generation, and they do jack shit with him. So.
And I don't think anyone would say that Lyndon Ashby was a bad Johnny Cage. I thought he nailed the performance.
I will give you that one.
Yeah.
He fucking punched Goro in the balls, motherfucker.
Dude, he punched that puppet and in the balls. Goro's got nards.
Okay, well,
Goro has 4 arms.
Balrog's haircut.
I think canonically he does.
We were watching Mortal Kombat, and Carly's like, he must need twice as much deodorant.
She's not wrong.
Still the same amount.
So that is why Mortal Kombat has better acting.
It's just it's obvious.
Yeah. Okay, so my gut wanted to say Mortal Kombat right off the bat. I've seen both movies many times, and I do like the over-the-top, almost a music video level of their acting in Mortal Kombat. But Dylan brought up a point, and it goes with something I learned earlier today, where he said it looked like everyone on the set was having a good time, and they were having fun, and they were all kind of gelling. But I know for a fact it was the exact opposite, because there was Jean-Claude Van Damme was spending $10,000 a day on cocaine, and showed up the most was having an affair with Kylie Minogue, and also was having a portable bar brought into the set, and was usually late between 4 to 6 hours. And everyone on the set kind of hated him a little bit because they couldn't work. Most days went like 12 hours.
That's how good of an actor he is.
And because of knowing that and knowing that information now, the acting in Street Fighter is fucking amazing. I mean, like, dealing with that fucking tornado, and then now they're putting out at least a passable movie. I'm gonna give the points to Street Fighter.
I think he was actually like really method acting too, because the actor who played Blanca said everyone else hated him, but I think he was cool to me just because we were supposed to be homies in the movie. He's like, he was really nice to me when we went out. So,
and he got an actual American flag tattoo on his arm.
All right, well, that's a really fair way to just keep the debate balanced, even though you disagree.
He's also the fight coordinator, I believe, Van Damme, for a lot of it.
He was too coked out of his mind. They couldn't get him on set. He said he could work on his muscles. I can't come to set today. I'm working out.
If you're not doing enough splits, you're not going to be able to fight.
It's like he can't do an American accent.
He can't do a Belgian accent either.
Yeah.
So,
listen up, boys.
Matthew,
do you want to fight?
Okay, so all right, next question,
I could
guys.
kick your ass, Bison.
I want you to give me the best fight scene from your movie. Why you have the superior fight scene, the one fight scene that's better than all the other ones.
Who's first?
Mortal Kombat goes first this time.
How about you suggest 2, and then I choose one, or I suggest 2 and you choose one?
The Sub-Zero or Reptile?
Yikes. Those are neither the 2 I would have went with.
Oh, what would you want?
Well, the Sub-Zero one's almost not a fight at all, but the Reptile one is solid. So, apart from the opening animatic, which they didn't even know what they were going to have for Reptile digitally, which doesn't look great. But after Reptile is thrown into the carapace of that like statue, that whole scene was added later because they wanted to punch up the action in the movie. So what they did,
it was like a reverse abortion, and
they let Robin Shao do the actual fight choreography for that, which is why it's so great. Instead of having someone who, granted, was a fight choreographer, but I don't think he was really holding up as much. Robin Shao comes in and delivers a fast-paced, amazing fight scene, throws in the bicycle kick, and I think it definitely holds up as one of the top fight scenes in the film. It's fast-paced. The EDM music is amazing.
It hits peak EDM at that point.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, come on. Don't get sidetracked, guys. Fight, not EDM.
But at the same time, I want to back you up on the soundtrack. It went platinum in less than 2 weeks. It's one of the best-selling soundtracks of the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
First EDM to go platinum.
Absolutely.
And Fear Factory's on it. And George Clinton.
You said George Clinton, yeah.
3 times.
Yeah. The musical director was also George S. Clinton. No relation.
And what I also want to add, besides the fact that this was the best fight scene in the entire film, was that Street Fighter has maybe 2 battles in the entire movie, whereas Mortal Kombat, a game about a character and a character fighting, it's a movie full of it because that's what it's about, instead of a bunch of random James Bond stuff, which granted is fun. It's not what the movie is supposed to be about.
You mean that your movie is just about a literal tournament?
It's a tournament to save Earth. Yes, it's about a tournament. That's exactly what it's supposed to be.
If Earth was threatened, you would hope these people would be fighting for you.
The way that they say, what does this have anything to do with Earth? And then Raiden completely gives you this obtuse answer as to why Earth is about to be invaded. It's the 10th win that gets them to access Earth.
Yes, they've won 9 times.
But he doesn't explain why that's the rules. Like, they ask him, why is this the rule? And nobody...
There's also a certain amount of months after you can't abort a baby. There are rules that you have.
I don't think... not the game.
A lot of abortion there. Yeah.
I don't think you can...
That was for you.
Okay.
There are rules.
But
here. This is not Nom.
This is not bowling.
I don't know. I think... Try to knock Mortal Kombat for not making sense.
You're talking about Bisonopolis and the Pax Bisonica.
Listen, they set up...
Blanca's going bad, so we start showing like pictures of dolphins and MLK speeches.
Yeah,
it epitomizes fighting, guys. So where Street Fighter has some minor fighting, like not full fights, it's more of an actual action film, and so that's not fair to judge it in that. Even though it is called Street Fighter, it is an action film with a small amount of actual sanctioned fights.
Okay, Josh, then I'll modify the question and give me your best action sequence. I'm fair enough for this. If you say there's not a real great fight scene, then what's the best action scene in the movie for you?
The whole last half hour, gee golly gumdrops, which includes the only true fight scene in the movie, Mr. American Guile. Also, some of my friends would call him Ghoulie back in the day because they didn't know how to spell it or pronounce his name. Against Raul Julia M. Bison, who was actually physically dying while making this film. And oh my gosh, the Psycho
Crusher.
Let
anyone do his stunts.
The Psycho Crusher and Van Damme's, what is it called? Not the Sonic Boom, but the whatever it's called, Psycho Kick, whatever. It looks so elegant when he does it twice in a row. And there is a few nice karate chopping back and forth and blockage going on. That's the only actual fight in it, because like the other ones get stopped due to the story. And
I think arguably that fight is where they bring out a lot of the video game stuff. The fact that they didn't make Bison a psychic dictator is crazy to me, because I like the fact that he has like psychic powers and that's how he got to power. But I like that they added in like the electromagnetic wristlets and the boots and the way he flies at Guile. It just looks so good.
Yep.
It's flawless. It's a flawless victory, guys.
Oh, how dare you use that?
And Bison and Van Damme.
Just that one.
But the whole scene, it's a whole half an hour action scene.
And he dies, but his suit re-injects him with adrenaline so that he lives again.
Yep, and that's not about a fight. That's not fight choreography. Yeah, that is a bunch of plot contrivances and a bunch of nonsense that doesn't add up to anything.
Same
it is a fight.
If you want to talk about fight choreography, Robin Shaw versus fucking, what do we got for Reptile's name here?
There's no comparison.
There's no comparison. It is balls to the wall
kung fu
happening versus I'm not going to say Raul Julia isn't the man, but there was not a lot of
Ninja
action.
Master.
No.
A lot of people don't know he's an actual black belt.
There were some good one-liners. There was some fun cuts, but it wasn't a fight scene. It wasn't even a fight scene.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cut this short. Mortal Kombat's got it. It's an obvious point to Mortal Kombat. I was hoping you guys...
Is it their point, or is it the movie in general?
No. It's the point for that.
You just have to watch the movies, Josh. You don't have to... It's fine.
I've never seen Mortal Kombat in the theater twice, because I did.
Can I bring something up real quick about a specific line in Mortal Kombat?
Which one?
No. Sure.
It's about the scene where
maybe there's a.
You remember?
Maybe we're gonna have a line.
Well, it might come up anyways.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
I really wanted to bring this up because I thought it was.
Let's go to the moderator.
I had the question. What is your? It was gonna be who has the best one-liner of either movie? Was really one of the questions coming up. So I'll jump in order and I'll put that in now. Which movie has the best one-liner? Because there's both these movies are full of lines.
More or less like a. There was like a scene that didn't make sense to me in terms of what they were saying to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you're talking about what's the best one-liner in Street Fighter?
Oh,
you didn't think about that.
It's ADR, and it's right after M. Bison explodes, and he says that he's canceled because he has a bunch of things blew up on him
while he's jumping in the air.
And it's definitely you're canceled. It was ADR because you can see Guile and he's walking towards the camera or running. I can't remember, but his mouth isn't moving, and it's the funniest thing. It's so good.
Yeah, try to decide what the best line from Mortal Kombat is.
Oh, you mean the one that starts off the entire fucking movie?
Are you talking about Shang Tsung? Which line are you talking about?
I'm talking about Mortal Kombat.
No, I wasn't referring to that line. That's a great scream.
Yeah.
It is Monday.
My grandma knew that line, and she'd never even seen it.
To me, the line that sticks out the most, though, is Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage, Lyndon Ashby. So Goro has broken Johnny Cage's sunglasses. So what does Johnny Cage do? He punches this fucker in the nuts.
Yep.
And then he runs away. But Goro's hanging on the side of the cliff, and he's looking for help. And Johnny Cage delivers the line only an action star could deliver, which we know he is also an action star. Besides, he's legitimately also a kung fu master. He says, "Those were $500. That was a $500 pair of sunglasses, asshole."
Yep.
And then he kicks Goro into, granted, a pretty shitty looking special effect that works so well.
Yes.
That line, powerful.
No. Did he not say, "This is the part where you fall down"?
He says that after that as well.
Oh, okay.
It's because he has multiple great lines. Because this movie is great line after great line.
Because that's the only part I can really jive with. Like that first, that's so good.
Also, we're going to give a special silver award to after Kano says, "Come on, Sonya, give me a break," and she's like, "Okay," and snaps his neck. And if Sonya wants to wrap her legs around my neck, okay.
Oh yeah,
she's so cute. She's got these little chipmunk teeth.
Nice. Yeah, I like Sonya.
Like her lips do that weird thing. She's hot.
I mean, that Veronica Vaughn is one.
Yeah, I mean,
and she's pretty intimidating as a fighter.
I think everyone should fight in jean shorts.
I mean, did you know?
And
that
the best acting goes to Kano pretending it actually got hurt. He was hurt.
Oh, you mean
Trevor Goddard?
You mean Greyjoy? I kept calling him Greyjoy because he reminds me of the.
Hey, I'm the pirate Greyjoy.
I'm the pirate Greyjoy. He's exactly like him.
I wish the Greyjoys actually talked like old school pirates in Game of Thrones.
I turned to Allie and I go,
"I'm a Greyjoy.
I'm a Greyjoy.
What was it? Is this Laurent? You're on Greyjoy.
You're in Greyjoy."
She laughed so hard because he's literally him, the same beard and everything. But if we're talking about Kano right now,
we're not. We were talking about best lines. We already talked about them. Matt, what do you think?
First of all, I'm gonna say you've been canceled. It was with the Street Fighter. I like that line. You've been canceled. ADR is pretty fucking great. I'm gonna give it to Street Fighter.
Oh, fair and balanced, just like the Russian police, as always.
Also, there were so many great lines in Mortal Kombat, and you didn't get any of them. I was like, okay. Well.
What better lines?
I was looking for, "This is the part you fall down." That's what I was looking for. That was the one.
Oh, that's good.
See, and I brought that one up.
Yeah, that was what I was looking for.
Can you not say, like, for me it was Tuesday?
Oh,
that is the best line. Street Fighting.
That's a really good line.
Yeah, but
you got paid by Zangief.
Yes,
but that's not a one-liner. That
is a one-liner.
That's a one-liner for sure.
I mean, there's so many.
I don't think it's a one-liner.
You've lost your mind. You've lost your balls.
All right.
When Balrog says, "Give me a hand," and Honda's like, "I've only been in prison one day."
That is really good. That is good.
Oh
Ask
my
me next
God.
month. And I was like, "Whoa, I didn't get that one."
Dude, those two had such good chemistry. I would have saw a whole.
As far as Amanda has the worst widow's peak that's ever lived.
No, that's the best hairstyle in all the movies.
All right,
Matt, what do you got?
Okay, I got a couple other weird questions here. Here's a kind of strange one. I would like you guys to decide which. I'm only asking for 3 people from the cast. Which cast would win in an actual fight? So you can pick 3 fighters, 3 actors. And I'm not asking their characters. I wanted them as actual people to fight actual people from the other side. Who would win in an actual fight? You pick 3 from your movie, 3 from their movie, and then you guys got to give me a reason why your team would win.
Dude, it's hard to argue the real life badass Jean-Claude Van Damme.
So you got JVC as one of your guys.
If he's not on too much of a coke bender to come out of his trailer, he might be able to fight for now.
Sometimes, my friend. Lawrence Taylor was MVP, only defensive MVP in football, while on 10 bricks of coke a day. So,
but you also said it enhances sometimes. You don't know where you're going to get Jean-Claude. He might be on the mate. If I'm hungover after cocaine, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to roll out of bed. I'm going to take 2 days off to work on my muscles.
He just betted all his co-stars.
He's going to be kicking asses and doing more cocaine and having voluptuous sex with the random ladies, as you've seen in his movies, and keeping his testosterone flowing, and probably punching people, like probably dancing at bars drunk, and probably just kicking heads. Oh yeah, a lot of kicks to heads.
Are you also going to take Dalsum and T-Hawk then?
I mean, you really don't need anyone else, but
Tammy's better than both of those two.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the guy who played Andrew Barnitsky,
Brynjarski, the guy who played Zangief.
I wouldn't want to fight that guy. He's about the size of Goro.
So wait, you're taking Zangief, Guile.
I would even say the guy who played E Honda. That's stupid.
You know, that E Honda guy, I don't know. I just think he looks like a true sumo and all, but
he did play Big Ed Tuttle in basketball, and he beat little bitch Squeak Scolari up in that movie. So that's a good bitch.
If Raul Julia had
I'd probably go Vega.
Boots.
I'd probably go Vega. He was jacked. You saw it.
All right.
Phil.
So Josh has just selected beauty muscles and no fighting talent for all 3 of his things.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and choose Robin Shao, who played Liu Kang.
Carrie.
Fantastic. Lyndon Ashby, another trained fighter who has won multiple tournaments in real life.
Yes.
And for the third one, the dark horse, I guess I'd go Chris Casanassa, who played Scorpion. Such an amazing fighter and stunt double that he went from just being on set to being a full character in the movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to say possibly the Shang Tsung actor, but the cast is stacked.
Yeah, the cast is stacked. And these people are not only ripped, they know how to fight. Instead of Zangief, granted, some great one-liners. No doubt about that. Jean-Claude Van Damme, on the right side of a coke bender, he'd be great.
Yeah.
And I didn't even forget the third person because it was so forgettable for Street Fighter. Whatever.
Now, hold on, guys. I've got one wild card.
It's already been chosen.
I was going to ask, how did Dylan feel? I don't feel that's fair.
I was going to say.
You can't negotiate here.
One of the fighters I would choose was the friends we made along the way.
All right. So what do you think about that, Matt?
Well, I was going to say for 2 reasons. One, Mortal Kombat gets the point for sure because they got all the right reasons. But I was going to give it to you anyway because you brought up basketball. So I mean, in my mind, point for you.
It is the best movie ever made.
After that, I was like, well, I don't know what you were saying.
Steve Perry.
Your mother's deaf. My mother's dead, you little twerp. I guess that's why she didn't move around a lot.
Oh god.
That's the line that Squeak says to Big Ed Tuttle.
That's true.
And what I think that happened on Does It Egg Night? Okay.
Between the 2 movies,
okay.
I think that Street Fighter deserved the sequel more than anything.
It got a sequel, The Legend of Chun-Li.
That's a prequel.
Is it?
Michael Clark Duncan?
Have you seen it?
No, I didn't see it. I heard it was worse.
No, I didn't see it.
It's not. It was supposed to spawn
All right,
the entire
Matt.
universe.
Yeah, I saw that movie, and I can't remember the plot, Dylan, but I definitely saw that terrible Kristen Pratt vehicle. It was terrible. Next question. I'm going to say, which movie honors the theme of the video game the best? So, like, obviously, we talked about the script, but what in general, like, is the movie that mostly honors the source material the best?
I mean,
who's first?
I think it's Mortal Kombat starts this time.
I mean, like we said it already, the whole premise of the movie is the game itself, and there's none of this political bullshit. I mean, it is Earth about to be consumed, and
it's not bending character motivations. It's not changing things, making contrivances to deliver a plot that was never there.
It's not like Super Mario Brothers. Let's just,
are you kidding me? Is there a plot to Street Fighter 2?
So Ryu is actually the main character in the Street Fighter series, and they have changed it to Guile.
Can we stop calling him Ryu?
Okay, it's Ryu, but everyone in the movie mispronounces him except one character, so that's why he's been known as Ryu since the movie.
Han and Han.
Well, it's not our fault that the movie has ruined the pronunciation for everybody.
Anyways, Beck, yes.
Mortal Kombat, it's about a tournament to determine the fate of our planet. Holds true to it. Liu Kang, they give him the focus as the main character. They give him a clearly motivated villain with Shang Tsung.
Yep.
And they also give the ancillary characters, the supporting cast, their own triumphs and things they have to overcome. Sonya fights Kano. Johnny Cage has to defeat Goro. And they have character arcs. And it's true to the game, and that's about the battles, it's about the tournament, and it's about kicking ass and being over the top. It doesn't add a terrible over the top James Bond plot to a movie that didn't need it.
Like you said, not a lot of contrivances, not the shoehorning of every character ever.
Big music, badass fights, cool characters. That's what it's about, and Mortal Kombat delivers.
And it doesn't pretend to be anything but that.
I'm going to be the France of this debate and actually see that point because I think it's actually true.
Josh?
Dylan, come on, man. This is actually not fair. This is not a fair question. Because
don't blame the questions.
This is a debate. You have to prove it.
What?
Yes.
Clearly, Street Fighter is so true because, like, Mortal Kombat, it's dark and stuff. Street Fighter, you play the game, it's brighter. It's more fun. There's not fatalities, but that's kind of like where the comedy stays true to Street Fighter. Not too much,
yes,
but some.
Not in the game.
Beat up cars.
Oh, come on. They're sweet poses and stuff. And,
Some of the after stuff.
There's bicycles that are there. It's got the similar feel as the game. So I feel it holds about as true to the game as it can. They had and the stories are the original origins of a lot of the Street Fighter characters are very small, so they had to adapt and write a full movie script to really combine all of these. So it didn't adapt. It's not the same there, but it tried to.
Okay. I would say that there's a lot going on with each individual character within Street Fighter.
Whoa, wait, what's going on with T-Hawk?
T-Hawk?
Yeah.
They saved that for the sequel.
He's the secret. He's a secret weapon. He's like Noob Saibot of Street Fighter.
Chun-Li, E Honda, and Balrog. I think that could have been a movie all on its own.
I love that Balrog is like, all right, I can put on my padded gloves and really fight now.
Yes.
Well, it's funny. They all had.
How true is that? That's true enough to the game. He was out there fighting real life with boxing gloves on. That's how true it is.
The part is that technically in the games he's a part of Shadow League.
Yeah, he was a bad guy in the game, so that's just another point why it's just bad.
Fuck, I just did that to myself.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'm going to say right now, Josh, I liked your points just because you had an impossible task and you made it sound legit for a second, but the point goes to Mortal Kombat.
I tried.
Hey, I give you points for effort though, but Mortal Kombat for sure won that one, hands down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a question that's a little more fair to both sides because a lot of stuff skews more Mortal Kombat side. But the one I was going to ask next is
which one's a campier schlock fest?
No, I'm not going to do that one. But no,
come on.
Which one is? It's like a two-part question. Which one has aged better, and which one had the most lasting impact on the genre, and the genre being video game-based movies?
Those are two questions, right?
Yeah, the two questions. But if you, it's going to be hard to kind of separate them a little bit because the aging process. Oh, who started this one?
Street Fighter does. Which one holds up the best? Street Fighter.
Okay.
That's not even a fucking question. Because have you seen some of the effects in Mortal Kombat? It's really funny when they all get on this ship, and then when they show a scene where Raiden is explaining like the entire, he's giving you all the exposition, and then the deck of the ship is like 5x5. And they're all just hanging out on it, and they're all transporting on this ship. This time it like completely took me out of it because they get on board this like haunted ship. I don't know why I'm zeroing in on this. This has been 3 hours, but I think that by and large, like a lot of what you see in Street Fighter is practical. A lot of that stuff makes sense. And the way that the characters interact with the world makes a ton of sense. There isn't a bunch of CG scenes where they zoom out and they're trying to walk up a temple and it looks like the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life. In Reptile.
Oh, well, let's talk about Reptile. Bad. Let's also talk about Blanca, okay?
Blanca's
a genius.
Blanca looked like a real thing.
Carly tells. Okay, so the moment she saw Blanca, Carly saw Blanca and she said, "Who's Carrot?"
Kano's mask. Kano's eye.
Kano's mask looks fucking perfect. Kano looks great.
He's a prisoner of war.
He drank a beer, cut it open, and glued it to his face.
He's being shown pictures of dolphins and MLK.
But he's getting injected super hormones.
Fucking Raiden.
Muscle mass increased 90%. Didn't you pay attention to the movie?
All right, so you're talking about what has aged better.
Yes.
And you want to bring up Reptile. Yes, Reptile doesn't look great. Granted, they didn't have a lot of budget for that. But let's talk about the special effects for Goro, which looks fantastic to this day. That gave me nightmares back then. The fact that they have a real person on set having these animatronics with his head buried in there.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but there's something about also you watch The Thing with John Carpenter. Those special effects aren't perfect, but they age well. They look great, and they are tangible and they're on set.
Yes, but the cohesion doesn't work.
Goro, when Goro gets punched in the nuts, and he reacts, and he's like, "Oh!" And one set of arms grabs his nuts, and the other is like looking for comfort. Yeah. Hilarious. That is some good stuff.
I think when we're talking about what has aged, it's easy to talk about special effects. Oof. I still think Mortal Kombat is held in higher regard as one of the best video game adaptations of all time. Like, still to this day.
Easily.
Even if the special effects, yes, they didn't have a budget. I mean, and it was the early days of the CG. Just going back to the whole fact that the movie stayed so true to the game just gives a lot of points in the realm of what has aged better, because you go back and look at the Street Fighter movie and it's
Street Fighter started off as like curdled milk and then it got older.
I mean, I saw the movie in the
theater. You guys are missing the main thing about Mortal Kombat. Kitana aged well for 10,000 years old.
That's not a bad point.
There we go.
Come on, guys, you missed it.
I don't know on what axes we're really judging, the age.
The fights hold up.
Absolutely.
The cinematography, mostly holds up. The set design for Mortal Kombat is impeccable. Street Fighter's got some styrofoam sets. Mortal Kombat, across the board, is a prettier film to look at today, and the fight scenes hold up. And I still think Goro is one of my favorite, in-camera costumes I've seen done with animatronics. It's up there with Jabba the Hutt as far as things that I see and I believe and I'm scared of.
Now, when you start to bring up how something holds up, you then have to approach it with modern sensibilities. And a lot of these things are schlocky to begin with. Can we all agree on that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
These are all schlocky.
No, these films are different, though. Mortal Kombat is functioning as a real action epic film, and Street Fighter is schlock.
Yeah.
No, but they both end up being schlocky for modern audiences.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Can I interject?
Yes, you're the moderator. You're in charge.
Yes, I'm going to interject because I will kind of concede a little bit to Mortal Kombat on this point where schlocky might be the wrong word because Mortal Kombat has been kind of campy, but it's been brought along with movies like Space Jam and Ninja Turtles and other 90s movies that have like been somehow, even though we all know they're not great, they've aged in a way that the society, the zeitgeist thinks they're good. Like I do
so good
understand I understand what Dylan's trying to say because they are both kind of schlocky, but for some reason Mortal Kombat has not got tagged with that. They kind of get a pass for some reason. I don't understand why, but it does.
It's
people only had to see Street Fighter once to know it was bad.
Now, hold on. I'm willing to watch this again. I've got it for another 12 hours.
So good it's bad.
But
no, I think you mean so bad it's good.
Sure.
No, because I wouldn't even define it as that. I actually don't think that Street Fighter is a bad movie. I truly.
It depends on what you're approaching it as. If you're approaching it as a movie that's well done and like excellently executed,
it's definitely not that.
Until you guys brought up this topic, I had not seen the Street Fighter movie since I was 9 years old.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it either since I saw it in the theater.
Exactly. But I watched it again, and I found it utterly charming. I found it to be kind of above itself. I think that this movie is a defining quality of the 90s. There's something about this.
Man, you're reaching.
No, I'm serious. It's taking something that they want to adapt because the 90s was full of adaptations when you really take a look at what people were doing with movies. You think about Spawn, you think about like as dumb as it sounds, like Space Jam, stuff like that. And I think that when you coalesce all this stuff, this is truly like someone was given a bunch of information. A scriptwriter, some Hollywood weirdo was given a script. They said, make a Street Fighter 2.
Do you know what doesn't age well?
No, he's just like, oh, fuck.
Do you know what doesn't?
He did an awesome job.
You know what doesn't age well is bad acting. And Street Fighter is horribly miscast on 80% of its roles.
Whoa. Who?
The actors for Ken.
Ken is
Ken Masterpiece.
Vega, Balrog,
Vega,
Cammy.
Vega,
Cammy, Captain Sawada.
Sawada, sorry.
Vega
is the greatest.
Vega was nothing. He had no roles. Sagat, I think, was miscast.
And he did it better than
looked the part.
Yeah, Sagat was definitely like a 7 foot tall, like ripped dude, and not some old skinny dick guy.
Dude, have you ever played the video game?
Yes, I have. Yeah, he's giant. He's tall as shit.
Yep.
He's got reach.
He's the tallest character.
And he's actually muscular instead of just some little guy with an eye patch.
Right.
He was the Iron Fist.
It doesn't matter. The acting was so bad in Street Fighter, and it wasn't fun bad, it was bad.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat has acted. No, dude, Christopher Lambert.
Raiden was such a twinkle, like a wink in his eye.
Christopher Lambert is amazing in that movie.
Just kidding.
You hate it.
Just kidding.
Yeah, amazing. There could be only one.
Actually, the worst out of all of it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to
asshole too.
I'm going to agree with Josh a little bit that Christopher Lambert was kind of not maybe the worst of all of them. Yes, but I think we got off topic here.
I have to say
big time.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's fine. I'm going to concede the point Mortal Kombat on this one. But one thing I want to say.
They're up by 2.
Yeah, one thing I want to say. Oh, actually, you guys are up by 3 now. The thing I was gonna say
fatality
is for Dylan. I do agree with his point about the special effects because I think what he was trying to say is not that Mortal Kombat doesn't have better special effects; they have uneven. Sometimes when like the Spawn movie, when you have some things that are practical and some things that are CG, and the CG's bad, it really stands out. And now you watch the Mortal Kombat movie now, it's like, oh, that CG was terrible. It amplifies how bad it is because you have good practical effects like Goro in there. So, Street Fighter didn't have great special effects. It aged better because it was all practical. It doesn't have that glaring, disjointed dichotomy of their special effects.
You know what makes me really angry is that Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out 5 years before these movies, and that still makes me angry. That movie is so flippin' good, and everything looks fantastic. And
almost as good as Street Fighter.
They couldn't.
I will say though that compared to Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the original Mortal Kombat special effects are perfect.
No, Annihilation was better.
Yeah. You like Annihilation special effects better? Yeah. Dylan is no longer a credible source for anything.
All right, Matthew, Mr.
I got a couple more questions left. One for you that's a little bit different. What is the greatest sin that your opponents like? So for the Mortal Kombat team, what is Street Fighter's greatest sin in that movie, and then for the Street Fighter, vice versa? So, what is your opponent's greatest sin? So, if it's bad casting, if it's bad plot, what is the thing they do the worst? And I believe I think Street Fighter team starts first in this one.
And we're referring to our own, or
no? So theirs. So like this. So
theirs. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, throw some major shit.
Do you have one, Josh?
Gotcha. Off the top of my head, no.
So I'm actually going to say that the tournament itself doesn't make any sense. Its progression, how the characters interact with each other. One of the things I can say is that
why does Frodo have a ring? It doesn't make any sense, but he has a ring, so we do it.
No. It
does seem on the fly.
You watch a movie
There's
about
no
martial arts.
What is Bison? They need to create a food court in Bisonopolis.
Hey, Brad, can we let them go a little bit? Before you jump on them, give them a second to get their point out.
So I'm going to say this. So there is a structure to the tournament saga, like of a saga. Like what you have to understand is that you have to show a clear progression on who's fighting who and why they're fighting each other in like a bracket sense. Like when you watch any fiction that has to deal with a tournament, usually they show you how the tournament is set up. We're talking like, especially like anime. Anime is very prominent with this type of stuff. A lot of martial arts happens in anime. And when you don't see who's facing who and why they're facing each other, you don't really get the opportunity to see it as a competition. You just see it as random matchups. I think that a lot of the matchups are pretty silly. A lot of it seems to be on a whim. There's no real sense of competition going on in Mortal Kombat. Just like Shang Tsung's just like, oh, now you're going to face Kano because I said you could. You're welcome.
I choose her.
The build up and the execution doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There's no sense of dramatic elevation.
Okay. Well, I apologize to Brad because that was a terrible point. He should have jumped in. Brad, what's their greatest sin?
Fuck you, Matt. They almost.
I think the greatest sin for the Street Fighter film is having to kowtow so many different characters in, and none of them are given the proper motivations and character development that they need.
Name one.
Now, if there was
besides T-Hawk,
if Ryu, as the movie mispronounces the entire time, Ryu. Well, it is Ryu, but the movie fucked it up.
Ryu.
I mean, if Ryu, Chun-Li, and Guile were just given very much the most pointed, important roles, they could have built it around them. But instead, they're forced to have so many characters in there, and on top of that, you have Jean-Claude Van Damme eating up most of the budget, as well as Raul Julia, who took a big chunk.
Great
but
characters.
Great, but and then you're forced to cast 14 supporting characters without any money. It's
Game of Thrones has a lot of characters. That's a great show. Almost as good as Street Fighter the movie.
Well, you have 8 hours to tell a story.
And Game of Thrones had the money and the right cast, whereas Street Fighter has something Chappa as Ken, and nobody thinks he's great.
No,
Ken was all right in this
movie. Most of the characters in Street Fighter fall extremely flat, and the characters are not given the proper love, justice, and time to shine.
Yeah, I hate the writing. I think the script is written in like a coke-addled weekend.
Without Jean-Claude. Because there would have been more Jean-Claude if he was involved.
Never played the games. That's a different thing.
And that too. And given the mandate to fit all the characters in.
Either way, I want to spend that 1 year where Jean-Claude was getting violently approached by Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter while he was on a shitload of cocaine. I want to know what was going on with him that 1 year.
Can I be honest with you guys? If I could just say, The Street Fighter 2 anime movie is really good.
We agree on that point. Matt, what are your thoughts on the argument?
Almost as good as Street Fighter the movie.
The argument, I'm gonna succeed the point to Mortal Kombat. I think the Street Fighter team dropped the ball. The greatest sin that Mortal Kombat did gave Paul W.S. Anderson a career.
Paul F. Tompkins.
Give him an actual career.
Paul Anderson.
I mean, I had to watch see 7 terrible Resident Evil movies because the success of this goddamn Mortal Kombat movie. So, yeah, I mean, that's the worst thing they had was give this fucker a license to keep making movies.
So what happened was he stepped away after Mortal Kombat, and then Mortal Kombat Annihilation happened. He was so pissed off what someone did with the sequel that he wouldn't let people make sequels off his movies. So he was involved in 6 Resident Evil films.
Yes.
Now, I was surprised to learn he didn't direct the second or the third. He wrote them all, and he directed the first, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Oh, no, first, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
I was going to say the cinematographer of Mortal Kombat directed Annihilation, and that was the first and last, I think, movie he ever directed.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff behind that.
Yeah.
But Jax is in that one.
Yep.
He's got a big metal arm.
And you know what sucks is that his character arc is learning he doesn't need metal arms. When I love his metal arms.
Listen, we all have handicaps in life. We've all got things we've got to.
I don't need my metal arms. Well, also, it's nice to have them.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got the best technology in the world. And he says, you know what? I don't need this. That's a true.
That's like me learning, I don't need a car to drive to Las Vegas. I'll walk there. Well, you'll get there faster.
Well, Brad, you're dyslexic. You don't need books.
Thanks, Matt. All right, moving on.
Okay, all right. Okay,
it's bring it home.
Yeah.
Yes, just wrap it up here because I feel like I wasn't usually given the opportunity to give yourselves one last closing argument, but see that Mortal Kombat so far ahead, I feel like I can just say Mortal Kombat's the better movie by far.
Oh yeah!
So this is official. This is the end of the debate.
Have you been doing cocaine with Jean-Claude Van Damme all night or what?
Can I surprise you?
Sure.
Can I say something?
You can say it.
Reverberate through the the masters.
So there's a spy in the Mortal Kombat camp. His name is Brad.
Is the debate over?
Debate's over. Yes.
It's official.
It's official.
It's official. Yes.
I like Street Fighter way more. Street Fighter's such a better movie.
Mortal Kombat's miles above better.
Street Fighter watching it again.
And you're into the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, Street Fighter. Raul Julia delivers such an amazing performance, and it's fun and campy. Whereas Mortal Kombat, I don't think has aged as well.
I agree.
Jesus Christ! But
I think it looks way better though.
It's a debate, Dylan.
I went in thinking Mortal Kombat was going to be the same awesome movie I remember as a kid. No, I mean I still enjoyed it a little bit, but I did enjoy it. I still think both are deserving of the 0 Academy Awards that they collectively won.
Well, I mean, but most movies.
The cinematographer of Street Fighter is the guy that did fucking Rosemary's Baby. And,
oh my God!
And you have the screenwriter for Die Hard and all of these big, amazing action films.
It looks great.
And I'm not surprised some of the great lines where Bison's like, "You're gonna have to do better than that guy." And he goes, "Okay," and he punches him.
Oh my God!
That's amazing.
I think Mortal Kombat's budget was like 20 mil, and Street Fighter's was 35. So
they fucked up there.
Yeah,
they did.
But Jean-Claude ate up most of that. So, whereas Christopher Lambert, who played Raiden, he would. Well,
it's pronounced. It's actually spelled R-A-Y.
It doesn't. Well, the point is, They were told that they were going to pay for him to go to Thailand to shoot half of the film. They'd shoot all of his stuff in America, and he said, "Fuck that! I'm going to Thailand." He went there without getting paid, just for airfare and stuff, and he treated the cast with respect and brought it all up. So you have Raiden, and then for Street Fighter you have Kylie Minogue, and I guess she was the angel on set there, taking everyone out to the bars and giving them parties and stuff.
Dude, I want to party with Kylie Minogue.
She did fuck a coke rattled Jean-Claude.
I mean, you wouldn't.
The way he looked in that movie, even then I'd be like, I guess if you got it.
Dude, okay.
I think Brussels from Brussels.
He looks into the camera and says, "This is for you, M. Bison," and he does this flex at him.
Yes.
I love it.
Street Fighter's better.
He's got a little bicep on his
shove it
bicep.
up your ass. Yeah, it's so good. I do have something to say, and you guys can even let me say this during the thing. So there's a scene.
You had the floor so many times.
Oh, shut up. There's a scene where Kano is eating at the table. And you know how he has like that cyborg eye?
Yeah.
And then
turkey.
So there's a threat that Shang Tsung makes to Kano, and he says, "Be careful, I'll poke out that other eye and you'll need a seeing eye dog." And I'm like, well, what's the other eye for? Can he not see out of his cyborg eye? Like, he's implying that if he pokes out the other eye, then he's completely blind.
Right.
So what does his other part of the
It's
mask?
just a prosthetic.
Laser beam.
It shoots lasers in battle. Have you not played the game?
But he never used it against someone.
Did you guys notice Van Damme's goose egg throughout the whole movie?
Yeah, but I just thought the joke was stupid.
He had a weird bump on his head.
But he's a cyborg.
Carly mentioned that too. She's like, "What's wrong with Jean-Claude's head?"
He had a fucking nasty goose egg the whole movie.
Can we all agree that Raul Julia fighting stomach cancer so his sons can watch him play a character that they care about is the most... I disagree. He's so epic and amazing. He takes these lines, which, granted, some of them, I mean, they're well written, like action.
Bisonica.
He eats it.
Relatively speaking.
He takes these fucking morsels and he just makes them into full course meals and he devours it.
He knows exactly the movie that he's in and just fucking.
He didn't have to care.
He's probably like, I don't give a shit anymore.
He brought gravitas to something that didn't deserve it.
He gave his all to what he could give.
Matt,
what he was given.
Matt, what are your thoughts on Street Fighter?
So actually, I actually do enjoy. I watched it again today. I kind of agree with you, Brad, a little bit that it is campy as hell and it's fun. And I don't know if it's overall. I guess I think Street Fighter has aged better because I feel like it's gotten. I enjoy it more the longer I get because I can see it for what it is. That's just kind of crazy, over the top, campy thing. And then Mortal Kombat is kind of a product of the moment. There's a lot of movies of that era that we loved a lot, like and then we watched them later. Like, oh, why did we like this so much? Every time I watch Mortal Kombat now, I'm always like kind of bummed because like as a kid I liked it so much, and I feel like it's like, oh, this is proof that I was an idiot at some point in my life that I like this. So
Street Fighter's not as dark.
It's hard to try and figure out what's better though, because we've all seen Mortal Kombat 50 times versus Street Fighter. I think we've all seen only a couple.
I've seen it twice.
This is my second time watching it.
I've seen it
I think
20 times.
we're just so excited about seeing Street Fighter again. Or if we've seen them the same amount of times, I don't know if we'd prefer Mortal Kombat more, but
I'd shoot myself in the face.
Well, I'm going to tell you what Street Fighter did for me today. It has a kind of vibe that made me want to watch it. So I watched Street Fighter. And I got done. I immediately watched Big Trouble in Little China, and then I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 because they all have the same kind of fun. They all kind of felt it. I feel like if that's gonna be my new hangover, I want to watch something stupid but not pay attention, like kind of marathon. Like I'm gonna watch Street Fighter. I'm gonna watch Big Trouble. I'm gonna watch.
I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray now. I really like this movie. One of the details that I really loved is I was talking like Allie watched it with me, Matt, and I said. So they have this stealth boat, like this big piece of technology that they're about to use to go upriver. And obviously Allie isn't paying attention or whatever. And I said, why the fuck did he write his name on the side of the boat?
Yes.
William F.
Colonel William Guile.
That is hilarious. Guile would do that though.
But that sounds right.
Chun-Li says, I have to get back and Bison for what he did to my family. Said, this is not about what you need to do. Then Guile turns, he's like, this is about what I need to do.
Yes, this is my vengeance.
This is my vengeance.
So good. It's like, it's not
perfect high-def movie experience.
So do you think Mortal Kombat would have been better with Cameron Diaz or with Bridget Wilson? Because Cameron Diaz actually spent a lot of time training for fighting before she broke her wrist. Bridget Wilson came on day one, no time to train.
So did you? I mean, I kind of think it's probably better with Bridget Wilson because did you hear what happened to her on set? She refused to have any stunt doubles, even the fight scenes.
I wish she would have had stunt doubles. Her fights were fucking bad.
She dislocated her shoulder, and instead of going to get doctor treatment, she had him pop it back in on set and continue the scene.
That's like saying it's badass to like get your ass kicked and get back up. That's not badass.
She's such a rude bitch in the whole film.
Yeah,
she could hold.
Her attitude is right. Her fights are terrible. I wish she would have let. I wish they would have let someone else do the fight scenes at least.
Yeah, but she's a cutie. You want to kiss her.
No, well, I mean, I agree.
Correct. Again.
I wish there would have been fight scenes with a stunt double.
True, I agree.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts?
I have talked today.
I'm sure I got more, but geez.
I like Goro.
Goro's creeped me the fuck out, man. I didn't think he was great.
His special effects to me as a child. So you were probably like what, 25?
Close. Yeah, I was able to run for president.
Yeah.
30 days.
Best fight
I don't know.
Scorpion Cage by far.
My final thought is that Johnny Cage says, "Don't worry, I've got a plan for this Goro fight. Don't worry, I've got a plan." He punches him in the nuts, runs outside, and then tries to trip him off of a ledge.
Yes.
You didn't have
the way the Goro animatronic emoted when he got hit in the balls was pretty good.
Nailed it. And well, dude, he has one set of arms grabbing his nuts and the other reaching around. I love it.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I take it back. Mortal Kombat is a better movie.
Okay, and I do want to say that I take back what we talked about earlier, that the reptile fight was the best. The Johnny Cage Goro fight, even though there's not a lot of fighting, is pretty fucking hilarious.
It's really funny the way
scene.
In that scene, because there's a bunch of people cheering and they see Goro get hit, and then
there's two guys in that scene.
Someone's like, gets up Goro, and Goro's like, I guess if I have to.
There's two guys that are screaming.
I know, they're like, Goro.
There are two guys that are fucking the most over-the-top extras in the Goro fight. Goro! Yeah!
One of my favorite scenes in Mortal Kombat is when they invite them to this nice little banquet, and they're all sitting and they're eating like the nicest food you've ever seen. Shang Tsung comes in and he's like, now a
flip the fucking tables.
That's not the funny part. If you actually like, you see them like turning over the tables, but if you see the main cast, they're actually like stepping aside and kind of smiling a little. Like, like this is fucking.
And then there's no food or anything on the table when they have the fight. I was like, did they bring in some like people from the NBA to mop the floors quick?
It's very funny. In Sub-Zero, his chain kunai that comes out of his hand is like a literal like demon creature.
Talking about Scorpion.
I'm sorry. That's
okay. Yeah.
No, that's what I meant. But like which is just supposed to be like a blade, like a kunai, which is basically just
what Pacina actually uses.
Yeah.
With the little seashell that comes out of the fucking.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a seashell. It's just like an alien demon.
Right.
I thought that actually was pretty cool.
No.
So did you know that they originally filmed the end of the Scorpion fight with Johnny Cage jumping at him and just kicking him, but they needed to punch up the action. So they turned what was the end of the film, or like the end of the fight, into a morph, and that's when they go into hell. It originally ended with that kick.
Oh, really? Okay.
So all of that was added after the fact.
That's cool.
And the autograph picture.
Pretty cool.
Yep, that was all added afterwards.
Yeah, that was cool.
They added a lot of like more special moves and stuff, like the bicycle kick with the reptile fight. That was added after the movie was already shown to audiences.
The funniest part of the Scorpion fight is that they actually use like, get over here.
Yes, it's actually Ed Boon.
What did he say? Like,
get down here.
Get down here. It's like all cardinal directions. He was in prepositional phrases.
Northwest of here.
Yes. All right. Well, Matt, thank you very much for moderating this very important debate. Now the world knows that Mortal Kombat is the best movie of all time.
Well, it was my pleasure, guys. I enjoyed it immensely. I mean, I'm just the fact that I got to make Dylan lose, that's a double win for me. So
I feel like the fact that you chose him and he thinks you're handsome really sucks.
The fact that Street Fighter lost, I think we all lost.
Hey, I'm just saying I went on how your debate. It was debate.
I agree
with you.
Some of those questions really feel like I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't defend Street Fighter in some of those. For me, anyway.
I could have defended Street Fighter to the fucking bone.
If the argument was just pure product, if the argument was just literally like what is a technically better shot movie and just more entertaining to watch, easy Street Fighter.
Yeah, and if it was just about like making bad excuses, I think Dylan would have won.
Yeah.
Hey, he's
stuff
he's like France. Okay, come on.
All right, Matt, where can people get a hold of you? Where can people listen to this whole Better in 3D?
Okay, so if you want to listen to us Better in 3D, we're on most streaming services, Apple Podcasts, Pod Addict, Himalaya. We're on podcast.com. If you want to follow us on social media, Instagram, we are Better in 3D. On Twitter, we are 3D Better. And on Facebook, I'm just Matt Grennier. And you can also follow my co-host, Allison Smith. Me and her and a crew of motley people get together pretty weekly just to talk about movies and get drunk. So it's where you can find us. We usually upload on Fridays.
And it is a very good podcast, and it has sometimes some good people on it. Present company notwithstanding. But all right, thank you so much again for being our moderator and for choosing the right movie.
Yes, bye, Matt. Sure. See you tomorrow. Buy some 40s.
And also, if you like Dylan, he's going to be on the next episode. It's going to be out this week. Me and him and our producer Mike got a little tipsy and talked about Cobra Kai. We talked about TV shows based on movies. We also talked about what we do in the shadows. So
Dylan says he doesn't remember.
He was lit up. So
I am listening.
Yes. I said I made some good jokes. I think
you were very funny.
I can hope so.
That's my memory every time I get drunk. I made some good jokes. I think.
No, I wasn't drunk. Let's be honest.
I was blitzed.
All right, they suck.
All right, guys.
You can find us at Hot Dogcast on Twitter, Hair of the Dogcast on Facebook and Instagram. You can reach out at hairofthedogcast@gmail.com if you have any comments that you want to reach out to us for anything. Where can they find us for other things, Tom?
Please go to Patreon if you like what we do and consider subscribing to one of our tiers. We got tiers for any budget. We would love any support you can give. And like we said before, if not, thank you very much for listening. If you're listening to this contemporaneously when it comes out, make sure to check our Instagram out. We are doing a epic battle for the best video game character of all time. I think we're down to 64.
Here's an update right now. I started off with 128 characters. As you're listening to this, this week it's down to 64 characters. But what's most important is that while you're listening, the epic battle of Cloud versus Goose has already happened. The Goose from Untitled Goose Game. And I don't know what's going to happen with this one. So you guys can go and check out if you haven't, but there's still going to be, we went from 64 down to 32, and we have to vote for the best character of all time. So go to Instagram, vote on Instagram, vote on our story poll.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and I don't know if Cloud can beat Sephiroth 5 times. Can he beat Goose once?
So, I have one question to close out this entire podcast.
All right, here we go. We're going out.
It's from one Catherine Conti.
Okay. Executive producer.
Executive producer. Can I play Blu-ray on the CD-ROM attachment for my Sega Genesis?
If you have a 32X.
And a Blu-ray player apart from all of that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you again for writing in, Catherine. We love you.
Thanks to all of our Patreon pals. Thanks to our new Twitter subscribers. Thanks to everyone who comes up to me on the street and says, "You suck." It means you're listening.
Yep. Welcome to my club.
Yep. Support local beer.
Support all of your favorite craft beer bars.
And
Drafty Cellar, Watertown, Wisconsin.
The Crafty Dreller.
And thank you guys for a nice, fun debate. This was fun. We should do this again.
And the next time... So while you're listening to this, Dylan's an older man, but right now he's still young.
Yeah, you got a birthday in like 29
For another 30 minutes. I'm going to live it up while I'm still 29.
That's right. All right, from all of us that
you're going to turn 30 at midnight?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is big.
Dude, that means you're getting older.
Fuck.
You're almost as old as I am.
Tom was 30 14 years ago.
You're like almost half my age right now. You believe that?
Tom!
Yeah, this is the farm. All right, guys, from here, the Dogcast.
I'm ready to be
Have
old.
a great night, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.